Live from Need to Know Studios, this is Stay Busy with Armon Sadler.
Well, you know that I'm the guy. I'm out here living life. I'm busy. Stay busy. Making moves and catching flights. So please don't waste my time. I'm busy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Stay Busy with Armon Sadler, where we have responsible discussions on the entertainment business and the entertainment culture. I know it's been a while. I had 5 months to say something of value, and I don't think a lot of y'all have. So I'm here to save the day. They call me Spider-Man, Superman. But I'm Armon Sadler, vegan chorizo poppy, founder of B&B, also known as the bald nigga bombshell, who has entered your podcast studio, but their podcast studio, the Need to Know Studios. And I also go by Chinedu, and the only man to sit in front of Taylor Rooks and not tell a lie. I'm so thrilled to be back. I woke up with a pep in my step. I ain't sleep much last night. I was telling SaVon I ain't sleep too well last night, but I woke up happy because I knew I was coming into pod, and I knew I was coming into pod with some great people. For y'all who have been asking, when y'all coming back, I appreciate each and every one of you. I promise it'll never be an extended break like this again. For those who are new to the show, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe on your favorite audio platform, leave a like, a comment, a share, all that good stuff that you can do. It means a lot to us. And the podcast OnlyFans, patreon.com/StayBusyPod for exclusive, bonus, unfiltered, raw content. You can pause that or not pause that. It's up to you. Do whatever you got to do. But I'm thrilled to be back, not only because, one, I'm just back potting, but I have some very special people with me. The very first time that I will be podcasting with all three of them. There have been instances where it's been 2 out of 3, instances where one was my co-host and the other 2 was out gallivanting. But we have all 3 in the building, and this is the award-winning, viral clipping, studio owning, mixer throwing. I can go on and on with the monikers. We got SaVon, we got Alex, we got Big Regi. The Need to Know podcast is here on Stay Busy Pod. Welcome to the show, y'all. What's up? What's up?
God damn, what an intro.
I wasn't sure. Okay, whenever we're guests on a pod, I don't know if we're allowed to speak before we're introduced. I didn't know if I was allowed to giggle or if we were hiding it until we reveal it.
No, it's cool.
His monologues make me feel like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we were all sitting here like this.
Nah, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
And we watch your show, so we do know you have an elaborate intro. And make sure you got all of that off.
It's you could call it gassing, but I think everything I said about y'all is honest. So it's not gassing. It's just me telling the truth about y'all and family.
I was just laughing because when you were shouting out the baldies in your intro, SaVon was like, I was holding in my lap.
This is my VP marketing of Bald Nigga Ball.
And
he's been doing a phenomenal job. We're gonna discuss contract extension soon.
I can use it. I need a job. I need a job.
I know. So we're gonna talk about it. But thank y'all for being my guests on my return episode.
For sure,
means a lot. I always love potting with y'all, and we're family. We talked about it off camera, just about the resources and the knowledge and the love that we've exchanged. So.
We were very inebriated when we agreed to do this.
But here we are.
We were.
Even if we make promises, even if we're drunk, we still follow through.
Hello.
Yeah.
Only for a few, though.
He's
on a very short list of people that I
agree.
can make a drunk plan with and follow through.
I love that.
Other people, I'll be like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Something came up. Life came up. Yeah,
also, real quick, because I know you made all of those announcements. This is actually the first time the 3 of us have guest appeared on a pod too.
Yeah,
simultaneously.
This is the first time it's ever happened. So this actually feels really new and different and cool. So thank you for having us.
For real, man. Right on Stay Busy.
Yeah, momentous occasion for various reasons. My first time recording in Need to Know Studios.
How do you like it?
Recording Stay Busy in Need to Know Studios, that is.
Right.
And if y'all are not tapped in, make sure that you have a website, right?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Tell them for me, because I'm going to fuck it up.
you know what I normally do? I just send people to Alex's DMs. So
that's what we do.
if you need to book anything, Need to Know related,
don't go there.
Just message him.
Go to Alex's DMs, man.
Don't go there. Need to know studios.com. Come look with us.
I forgot
It
we
really
do that.
should be. Who is the most likely to answer if people hit us up with Need to Know related inquiries?
In DM, personal DM?
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us. But
I don't know.
Alex.
No.
I really think it should be Alex. Cause no offense, I don't know if I'm gonna answer in time. Like,
the voice of the pod. Huh?
yes, go to Alex, guys.
Voice of the people.
Go to Alex.
All right, come to
wow.
me.
I completely fucked up your intros. I'm sorry. This is SaVon.
Oh Jesus.
And that is the Paca Rome Poppy. He's never alone. He's always with the posse.
Know that.
And this is Regi. She is so happy and blessed to be here.
I didn't know if you would get it because I feel like I don't have an official one.
You
but
do.
I
It's
always,
official.
but I
You
always
do.
say
You're
that.
happy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
blessed to
official.
be here. She's always grateful. She's
Oh,
always
that's so
happy. I love it.
cute.
And
That
if-
is my intro.
If Pierre was here, we would say he's the man with the plan behind the cam, but he's probably busy being a great dad or watching the New York Giants do terrible things. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
retweet on that. Shout out to the Jets though.
Big Jets. Yeah, Justin Fields.
Hello.
We up this year.
Hello, and my boy Andre Cisco. What up?
I am delusionally optimistic about the Jets until reality hits again.
That's okay.
So,
We're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck what they're saying about us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But speaking of sports, we can just jump right in. I know that we have our resident basketball expert here. You.
Yeah, you,
You,
It's
Regina.
you.
Sounds about
You.
right.
No.
So I just quickly wanted to talk about the playoffs are soon. So I wanted us to give our NBA Finals predictions on who we think will be making NBA Finals.
This is tough.
It is tough.
Because it's still fake early. Like, a lot can happen.
There's like
kinda open.
13 games
Right?
left. Yeah.
That's it? Only 13?
13
Oh,
games
wow.
left, yeah.
Okay.
No, we ain't able.
So we're doing East and West teams, not to win it, just to make it.
Just to make it.
Just to make it?
But by now, I feel like there's like a handful.
There's a handful.
There's a handful.
Yeah, but it could get tricky. I think out of the East, I gotta go Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone else like, I love the Cavaliers. I think they're gonna choke when we get to the playoffs.
I don't believe in them.
I don't.
I don't believe in them.
I was gonna.
come
Okay,
playoffs.
fine. I will say I just want the Cavs, but not because I know anything about what's going on. I just want to see Coco Jones happy. So
I knew that
I say
was-
that was my answer.
I had a
And
feeling.
I don't know. You never know. That'll
You
be
never
fun.
know.
That's the thing.
I feel like
Anything
that'll
can
be
happen.
way more fun than the Celtics making it though.
Fun, yes. Yeah, I get that. I get that. That makes sense. It's always cool to see new teams. Like for the last, really ever since that Cavs-Warriors era, we've seen different teams in the finals every year. Like there's been no repeat matchup since then, which has been cool.
Yeah.
But I just think the Celtics, one, they're defending champions, so they're the team to beat. They may not be the number one in the East, but they got the same core that they had
That
last year.
synergy is there.
And Jason Tatum's elevated, Brown's elevated, Kristaps even through his health issues, he's there.
Yeah.
Derek White's been playing great. Peyton Pritchard, Hauser,
Oh,
Luke
man.
Cornett, like their bench has stepped up too. So I'm just like, they're gonna be a tough out. They're gonna be a really tough
The
out.
Knicks are probably gonna be at the third or fourth slot as always.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm just thinking about who's gonna beat the rest of the field.
Yeah.
I gotta go with the Celtics. The West.
West is
What are we
tough.
thinking out of the West?
I just have to say Lakers or else I'll be single. So
know
I feel
that's
like
right.
Lakers, Cavs will be fun, but realistically, might actually happen for officially, because I want to like retweet this when it happens, I'll say Lakers, Celtics is actually what's going to happen.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not, because the NBA, they like storylines.
Yeah.
And so the Lakers, the Celtics, that I can see
Historic rivalry.
it. But if I'm gonna go on FanDuel or and place any type of wager, right?
Yeah.
Out of the East, I'm going with the Cavs. I was a year early on the Cavs. I used to always debate last year about the Cavs being so good and all this talent.
Facts.
I was telling my dad, like, yo, they can beat the Celtics. They didn't beat anybody last year.
Yeah.
But this year, they're doing some phenomenal things. So
doing well.
out of the East, I'm going to go with that pick.
Okay.
Even though, obviously, the Celtics can go either way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the Cavs out the East. And out the West, man, it's hard for me to look in any other direction. I, too, am a LeBron James lover.
Same.
Okay?
Yeah.
I want to see him do great things.
As do I.
But there is a big white man in Denver. And I refuse to go against the Denver Nuggets.
I feel you.
So I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets coming out the West and the Cleveland Cavaliers coming out the East.
We're not afraid of the Thunder because the Thunder is kind of like my same juxtaposition with the Cavs.
Yeah.
Young team. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs.
They don't necessarily have any vets that have been in those tough playoff scenarios. Like they have a phenomenal team. They're amazing. Like,
Yeah.
that Thunder Clippers game last night was like defensive masterclass.
Good
It was
game.
so good. But we saw what Luka and Kyrie did to them last year. PJ Washington was cooking against them. So it's like, do they have those guys who, when the going gets tough, come playoff time? Because playoffs, the game slows down.
Yeah.
You got to have those killers. You got to have a Kawhi. You got to have a Bron. You got to have a Jokic.
Go to
So
that.
I'm not fully sold on the Thunder. I genuinely believe these Lakers with Luka with the way Rui Hachimura's been playing. Austin Reeves has been playing out of his
Oh
mind.
my god!
The Dalton Connect, bro. Like
Look at Reggie. Even Reggie love AR.
bro.
Oh my god, on my TikTok, I've been getting all Austin Reeves edits. I love it.
He's him. He is playing out of his mind. Like, I genuinely believe. I bet on them to make it out the West. So I'm rolling Celtics Lakers as well.
Yeah, I'm a LeBron fan. I gotta go Celtics Lakers.
Yeah,
So all of y'all got the Lakers coming out the West.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just, it's really hard for me to see anybody beating that Denver team.
Denver
man.
ain't the same Denver.
Even with Westbrook.
We saw them get beat last year.
Yeah,
by
Denver ain't the same
T-Wolves.
Denver.
We
I do like
did.
the addition of Westbrook though.
Westbrook's been great. Christian
Yes.
Brown is really good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Aaron
man.
Gordon's been playing
Jamal
great.
Murray's been playing like a bum.
Yeah, Jamal Murray only steps up when it's the Lakers. He only plays well against the Lakers.
Well, we also saw what the Nuggets did to the Lakers last year.
Yeah, facts.
They don't have Anthony Davis this year.
Yeah.
but
They
got
have
Luka.
zero answer for
Hold on, don't
zero answer for
do that
Jokic.
to Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes been playing well.
Yeah, don't do that to
Don't
Alex
do
Len.
that. Granted, Jackson Hayes is not AD. Alex Len is not AD. But what we lack in that dominant big man, we added Luka Doncic.
Yeah, that's
Come on, bro.
He's special.
Come on, bro.
And he lost weight.
Okay. I mean, look, either way, I think that was actually probably my favorite series to watch last year in the playoffs, that Denver against LA. Just because there's so many ways to score, the threes, the talent. Like, it's going to be a fun series if they match up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Jokic, I really believe in that guy.
He
I really do.
Nah, he's the
Like,
goods.
He's
I
been
believe.
phenomenal.
He's the goods. If
He's
anything,
been
I'm just
great.
a hater, and he's been demolishing my team.
Because a lot of people
Every
said
matchup.
after the T-Wolves knocked them out last year, oh, the Nuggets era is over, and then Jokic is having another MVP caliber season. It's like, well, nope, you can't really count them out.
Can I ask you really quick? I know this is your show, so
Sure,
I'm
bro.
sorry, but we're talking about basketball. We don't talk about basketball or sports
Facts.
on our pod.
For the most part.
Unless
right.
something happens with the players that's outside of basketball.
Yeah, like a storyline. So really quick.
Yeah.
Is Jokic or Shy the MVP for you guys?
I'd go SGA.
I gotta go SGA,
I go SGA.
for this season.
Damn.
Though Jokic did something that has never been done before this season. What was that, a 30-20-20 game?
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts.
I gotta salute how impressive that was.
Yeah. But
Shay's done it since day one.
the consistency
Yeah.
plus his team is number one seed. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing about MVP awards. They're like, to me, most valuable player is literally the best player, but they weigh team success so much. So it's like, if team success matters,
Right.
it should go to the best player on the number one seed, and that's SGA. So that's my pick.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm Jokic as of today,
Yeah, he's
as
great,
you could
though.
imagine.
You love talented white men.
I do.
Tom Brady,
I
Jim
do.
Carrey.
Jokic, Jim Carrey.
I am a talented
You
white
love
man lover.
generational white men.
I really do.
Generational.
I mean,
is the
which is
key
not.
word.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey
Yeah.
man, they do our people well. All right.
Don't say that.
Have you guys seen Jokic's brothers when they're in the crowd for the
Oh
game?
yeah, they look like gangsters.
They look very,
Bodyguards.
very scary. I remember during the Olympics when USA beat. Where's Jokic from?
Serbia?
Serbia.
Yeah.
Serbia.
Wait, is he?
Yes,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
shout out to
Serbia.
you.
Wow, you cooked. I tweeted Jokic, shut your hoe ass up and groom some horses, nigga. And
Okay.
someone reported my tweet as like hateful conduct, and mad people in my replies are like, "Yo, Jokic brothers are gonna find you." Like,
Yeah.
yo,
They sit in the crowd like mad angry, like
yeah,
not
be
even
careful when
having
the
fun.
black Suburbans pull up. And I was like, damn, you know,
Nah, for
that's a
real.
valid point. Maybe I shouldn't poke the bear again.
None of them look like basketball players.
No,
Including
no.
Jokic.
Yeah,
You gotta be
yeah.
careful with them motherfuckers.
Yeah, they look
Okay.
scary, but
Yeah.
nice. Regina, I want to ask you: do you have a favorite superhero?
That was racially loaded because you know my answer.
Shang-Chi.
Yes.
Okay, so is that like a Marvel character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say him.
No, that's fine. I'm not too tapped into Marvel, so I literally just guessed like who that is.
Wait, it depends why you're asking. Am I supposed to give it like a serious answer to transition into a real topic, or are we joking?
Yeah, no. Give me a serious answer.
Oh, fine. I guess Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a
because
great
I actually watched all the Spider-Man movies, but everything else, I'm not too much of a big expert,
Yeah.
honestly. But then, just in case my Asian community is watching, shout out to Simu Liu, Shang-Chi. I loved it. I loved
Shout
the
him
work.
out.
Okay,
Yes.
so you're around my age. You're like 28. So you've known Spider-Man to be a good guy your entire life, right?
Wait, yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
No,
Yeah.
just follow me.
Walk
So
with
imagine one day
Uh-oh.
Spider-Man. Who's Spider-Man's biggest villain? It was like Green
Venom.
Goblin, Venom. Okay, so imagine one day you're watching some movie and Spider-Man just decides, fuck the people, fuck everyone. I'm about to team up with Venom and his random celebrity sidekick who just is here just doing bad shit with me. I'm just gonna rock with them and just fuck everything. Like, how would you feel about that?
I love the storyline. Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, you're not
You would be
expecting
so
that.
hurt, Regi.
I don't give a fuck.
Nah,
You'd be
cool.
like, no, Spider-Man.
I mean, it doesn't affect my real life. So if it's a good, if to really answer your question, if it will make a good movie, I find that cool.
Awesome. That's how I feel about John Cena turning heel for the first time. In
Oh
over
yeah, wait,
20
I don't know what
years.
this means. Please explain. Yeah. I
So
don't know
John
what this means.
Cena, you know who John Cena is.
Absolutely, yes.
To me, he's the greatest WWE superstar
And
of all time.
more importantly, he's a Taurus.
Yeah, totally. Bro,
But actually, let me fact check.
In addition, another great white.
another generational
Not
white,
for nothing. Hello.
phenomenal actor.
Boston.
He's done the most Make-A-Wish things of anyone ever.
He's a
And
Taurus. Shout out
just
to you.
recently, he turned heel in the WWE, which means becoming a bad guy. He
Oh, that's like a phrase.
Yeah.
You didn't mean like. Oh, I thought you meant like this is like a move he did with his
no,
heel.
no,
I was
no,
like, why do we care?
no. Like so heels are bad guys, then
Yeah.
baby faces are good guys.
Oh, the baby faces are the good guys.
Baby faces are good
I never
guys.
heard
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
side of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
baby
Wait,
faces.
what?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's
yeah,
such a cute name.
yeah. It works.
Okay.
It works.
No, that was dope though. him
Wait,
turning
so
heel.
what do you? How do you use babyface in a sentence? Like, oh, he babyfaced something.
So you can use it as a noun or a verb. Like Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface in the WWE.
Yeah.
Or damn, when he did that, he essentially babyfaced himself.
Got
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Got
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
The good guys.
Yeah. So John Cena aligned with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Travis Scott at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and they beat up Travis Scott, and they beat up Cody Rhodes, and it's like I've seen so many amazing wrestling moments throughout my lifetime. I'm sure you two, as wrestling fans as well, have seen
sure.
amazing moments. But that's just like it's the thing that you always wanted, but it never happened, and then it happens.
How long
And,
has Cena been wrestling now?
since like 2002.
Oh yeah.
So it's
been a
been like he's
Oh,
been a
yeah.
good guy
For
for
a very long
Very
time.
long
a
time.
very long time. Like he's the one when you're talking to your friend who don't watch wrestling much, they're like, yo, John Cena's still wrestling? It's like, yeah.
they know
Wait, so
he's still
John
around.
Cena teamed up with The Rock.
With The Rock and Travis Scott.
The Rock's
this
a
is
bad
like-
guy now, Reggie.
Yeah.
The final boss.
Oh, they were.
boss.
One was a villain, one was a superhero.
Yes. Yeah. And now John Cena's on the bad side. Literally, I was watching Raw earlier. He cut another bad guy promo, and it's great. Like it's great shit. It's really
He got to
great
get his
shit.
bad face together.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's
he
all
looks- he
right.
looks too
Yeah,
kind.
I like it.
Beard. He got to be like the 5
that's
o'clock
the thing.
shadow.
That's the thing. Like, he's still wearing the same colorful shirts. He got the
Yeah.
same music, but I like it because he explained it. He was like, the way he's explained it's amazing. He's like, y'all have been like mooching off of me for years, but you ain't even really fuck with me, blah blah,
We
all
do
that.
fuck with him.
So
Everybody
like,
fucks with him.
so you don't get new music, you don't get new clothes, you don't get nothing. He's like talking to us like he's our dad almost. I'm like, damn, bro, like you sound angry, but I get it. Like I understand you being those are the best villains. The villains you understand are the best villains. Like I love it. So it was a huge moment. Wrestling is the hottest it's ever been. So it's a great time to be a fan and seeing that. And this is his retirement tour. Like he's retiring in December 2025.
I thought it was after WrestleMania. No.
No, he's going to be wrestling till December.
Okay. Cool.
Farewell tour.
And so, for most retirement tours, guys just have matches. They're like, oh, maybe I'll get one more title, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to break Ric Flair's record because him and Ric Flair are tied for 16 world titles.
Okay.
He's trying to break the record to get his 17th. But we never expected him to be a bad guy doing it. So we're like, holy shit, this is you just flipped everything. Like, oh my God, it's insane. So it's a really fun time to be a wrestling fan and to peep that. But yeah, I just wanted to present that conundrum to you. But
That is very interesting.
I have a question for you.
Sure, bro.
A lot of the allure to me when I was younger and really tapped into wrestling was that I literally didn't know what was happening week to week.
Mhm.
With social media, with all of these forums and leaks and just the industry changing, it feels like you almost kind of know. There's a lot of foreshadowing with the storylines, with the plot, with the characters.
Yeah.
How does that still keep you engaged when you know, John Cena's retiring? You know John Cena's going to be the bad guy at this point, right? Right? Like, I saw there was a rumor of John. He was supposed to shave his head, right? And then I read another rumor where that talk was so loud that John was like, you know what? I'm not going to shave my head because they think I'm going to shave my... You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you still stay invested as a wrestling fan today with all of the different resources and storylines and leaks?
That's the thing. It's similar to music in that there are a lot of reporters or pundits who put stuff out that's not actually true. So you don't really know what's real until you see it play out on TV. And so John Cena's heel turn was like me and my people predicted it, but to see it play out the way it did was like, holy shit, they actually did it, and it actually was executed well.
And you still feel that same satisfaction,
Yeah,
and shock.
100%,
Same shock, yeah.
100%.
You still feel okay
because
okay.
it's kind of like reading the end of a book and knowing what happens, but not knowing the journey there.
Got it.
So seeing how he got to that point was like, oh shit, wow, they really did that super well.
No, yeah, and for us too, it will be like, oh my God, Drake is gonna diss this person on Friday, and if it's done really well, we're still like, oh shit,
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Endgame, Avengers, right?
I did watch that one.
It reminds me a little bit of Endgame. Now that you say that, like,
Yeah.
I did see the stories or the rumors of Tony Stark dying,
Right.
and when he died, I still felt like
That emotion.
What the? So all right, cool.
Yeah.
You just broke it down for me. Thanks.
Plus, he did it with Travis Scott.
Yeah, that was like, what the hell?
Man, I ain't never seen Travis Scott like that.
Trav slapped the shit out of Cody, bro.
Slapped the shit out that man.
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
wild.
Nah, he slapped. He was really
Yeah.
leaning into it.
Trav really fucks with his wrestling shit. Like he's training to
It's all-
wrestle a match.
It's on brand.
Whoa.
It is.
The
It is.
rage,
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
that
yeah.
energy, power moving around.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
on
on
brand.
I can't wait for somebody to slap him.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's
Slap
gonna be awesome.
Travis?
Yeah, he deserves a good.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
He's been a
But
bad
shout
boy.
out to Travis. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Travis. Shout out to The Rock, and shout out to John Cena because
Yes.
they are all three of them. I'm not making this up. They're all Tauruses.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Again, that is my last annoying astrology comment of the day. I'm moving on.
Sheesh, that's a
All three of
trifecta
them.
right
Like all three
there.
of them.
They're a treacherous Taurus trio.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Feel free to steal that.
Insane. Wow. All right, let's move into some music stuff. Did you guys know Fivio Foreign's been in jail since January?
We found out when you found out a few days ago.
I only knew that because I had to edit an article about it. But other than that, no, we didn't know.
Like I'm scrolling through. I think it was some random night I'm playing PS5, and like I see some viral tweet about how like, damn, niggas don't care about Fivio so much that we didn't know he was in jail the last 2 months.
That is kind of crazy.
I'm like,
When
yo,
you,
what?
when you think about TMZ and all of these fucking news outlets, like,
TMZ just found out.
bro, they report on the smallest things.
Yeah.
Like,
Shit.
you could catch somebody literally pissing outside and
Yeah.
it's a story.
TMZ got you,
Like,
but-
for somebody to be locked up since January in 2025 and nobody
Yeah.
know, that's impressive.
It is. The last thing I heard from him was the song that he dropped.
Playboi Max. And I was
I'm the
wondering
real Playboi
why
Max.
it didn't get a bigger push.
I
Now
didn't
we
see
know
him do it.
why.
Now we know why.
There was no
and
video.
I follow him.
Yeah.
I remember him pushing the song, but over the last few weeks, it's true. I just haven't seen him. I thought nothing of it. I was
It's
like,
crazy
he
too
probably
because
chilling.
like one of my favorite social media gimmicks is how he always misspells things in his tweets, and I was like, damn, I ain't
love
seen
it.
Fivio tweet out a typo in a long ass time, and
Yeah.
now we get why.
Now
Like,
it makes so much sense.
insane. He was arrested in Edgewater, New Jersey. Apparently, he there was some
Old
woman.
stomping ground.
Not the 201.
Insane, right? Yeah. He apparently pointed a gun at a woman who was like parked in front of his building. She was looking for a start for her car, and he was like, yo, if I see you parked outside this building again, it's gonna be a fucking problem. Blah, blah, blah. Cops said people witnessed Fivio immediately. They called the cops naturally, blah, blah, blah. He was arrested. 5 charges: unlawful possession of a weapon, terroristic threats, aggravated assault. So yeah, that's it's just like we know everything immediately when it comes to music, entertainment, especially like legal stuff. Like,
Yeah.
If TMZ don't know, ACT knows. If ACT don't know, then somebody knows. So the fact that this just like went under the radar for almost 2 months is like just insane to me.
Armon, he did what?
So there was a woman
I got to make sure of this.
with her car parked outside of. I don't know if he lives in Jersey or just
He does.
Okay, he lives in Jersey.
And
So parked
Edgewater actually is.
outside of his building. She was looking for a jump for her car, and evidently he was not fucking with that. And I guess she may have been outside the building like multiple times, but he pulled up with a gun and pointed it at her allegedly.
Man, that
and said-
Percocet was kicking his ass.
Yeah, I don't know. He
It
was.
does sound like he might have just been like freaking out about, you know.
You know how stressed that lady had to be?
She was like, I'm just looking
Bro.
Do
for
you know how stressful it is to have a dead battery?
Yes.
It sucks.
And try to get help.
anywhere and try to get help?
And then someone pulls up on you with a gun, like, bro,
Like,
As soon as you look for help.
this is not gonna help me jump the car. Like,
that's the 2 for 1. She should have called Kevin Gates.
somebody.
Yeah.
Should have called
He
Kevin
just did it with
Gates.
his hand.
Speak
Right
nothing
on
of this.
She
I love how this story was like Armon literally read us the report and like he just told
And
us what
Alex was like,
happened.
wait,
and
what?
I know Alex was like, what? he was like, wait, repeat that?
to make sure. 'cause I read the same thing you
It
read.
sounds crazy.
It does.
It sounds very crazy. Like, what
Out of all the things he could have been arrested for.
There got to be some underlying issues. Maybe she's done this multiple times. Maybe she's a crazy fan. I don't know. I don't want to victim blame, but
Yeah, because maybe he recognized her and something happened, and that's not included in the police report. Not yet. So
Man, just shoot me.
What?
Fuck it.
no.
I'm already on the side of the road, bro.
What?
Y'all
You
already know.
always gotta take it there.
No, because I'm
like, wait.
just put me on my misery. Fuck it.
No,
I'm
she just
fucked
needs a new car battery.
Yeah, that's not something to die
It's a little
over.
extreme. It's a little extreme.
Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, it is so stressful being on the side of the road. And now you're gonna pull a gun on me? It's like, all right, cool. Just handle your business, bro.
I'm crying. This dude is
You're nuts.
crazy.
But his lawyer says the police never recovered a gun from him. That's interesting.
Okay.
He believes this case is very flimsy, his flimsiest that he's seen in 21 years.
I'm so sorry, Armon. But he was like, yo, my car battery's died. Just shoot me.
Yo,
like,
that's nuts.
What?
Like, what? That's
SaVon,
nuts.
no.
You could just go to AutoZone.
Remember I got the flat that day we was going to Edgewater?
You didn't shoot yourself.
If a nigga would have pulled up on me,
Be like, yo, just
fuck
take
it.
me. Just take me. We good.
Fuck
We
it, bro.
good. It's
Like,
over.
I can't
Yo.
stand inconveniences.
I feel you.
So for you to like take that out on me, bro, like just do what you came to do, bro.
Finish it off.
Just finish the job. If you
Finish
really
the
about
job.
like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. What are we talking
But
about?
his lawyer thinks he'll be released in a couple months. So I'm like, all right,
Months.
well,
Couple
We'll
months.
see, man. We'll see.
All right, Playboi Max.
Yeah, I was about to say, as long as we get that Playboi Max video, even if it's late, it's cool. That's my shit.
I do like it.
That was one of the hottest songs of January. That
was.
and Tweaker.
It was. I agree.
That was a great record.
I didn't expect to like that song that much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a fact.
Get off my diesel.
Get off my Deasley. Damn. Get off my Deasley. Damn. All right, shout out to Fivio, man.
For sure.
But now shout out what he did.
Yeah. Let's jump into some.
It did seem like you were shouting out. Shout out to him for
not
doing
that.
that.
Not that.
Had to clean that up.
I hope the woman that was allegedly had a gun pointed at her. I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're-
same, for
we're-
sure.
We're all very responsible here.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some new music. My boy Young Jack Harlezy released a track, "Just Us," featuring Doja Cat. How do we feel about the record, friends?
Different than what I expected. I thought I was gonna get super pop record from the two of them.
Oh yeah, because they're both. They can be pop
Yeah.
adjacent.
And as of late, that's what I've seen from them. Doja Cat, especially Jack Harlow, kind of started more with some hip hop records.
Yeah.
As of late, it look like he's taking the lean. I don't blame him though. With sells.
Yeah.
But
It's worked for him.
yeah, it has worked for him. This record surprised me. This is more rappy.
Yeah, it's like trappy almost a little bit. It's got like a little pop element to it. Like this some shit I could see the white people fucking with.
Right, like a lo-fi
But-
pop rap.
But both of them are rapping for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely rapping. I definitely like
There's
that.
a video for this yet?
Yes.
Yes,
There is? I gotta
The
check
video's
that
hot
out.
and steamy.
And
gotta
there's like
check that
mad
out.
cameos in it. Like Taylor Rooks is in it.
Oh, I gotta check this out.
I think Matthew McConaughey,
Oh,
Matt
Pink
Damon,
Panthers.
Pink
Okay.
Panthers.
Legend.
Yeah. It's one of those big budget joints. Like,
Yeah, send me that link.
yeah,
It's a good video. Like Doja looks really sexy in it. Like she really does.
Oh, does she?
Yes, she
She
does.
look
Oh,
real
wow.
good.
All right.
Yeah, but she's grinding up on Jack the entire time.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
literally the
we
entire
know her
time.
type. I'm not surprised.
The ones in them chat rooms,
Yeah,
right?
I am
You know
not
what? He's
surprised.
not wrong.
Hey.
She does have a type.
He
Yeah.
did not
On
cap at
brand.
all.
That makes sense. And Jack, he's actually going into the generational great white fate. Like he's on that trajectory.
He's on his
So-
way.
You think so?
Yeah, he can. I think he has a
I'm
shot.
not mad at that.
I
I'm
think
not
he
mad
has
at
a
that.
shot.
Because I'm staying quiet in this conversation because every time I say it, I love Jack Harlow. I've
too.
always loved him. I love his
yeah.
music. Like I've been a big supporter of his career. So to me, I've always thought like, yeah, he could be a star. Like I really feel like he has a great personality for it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I am a little biased because I'm such a good, like a big supporter of him. But do you
Yeah.
guys really think he still can achieve that huge
picking the phone.
success? Because I feel
Yeah.
like
think
I
he
feel
can.
like people have kind of turned on him. No.
He's had a big record every year
Yeah.
since he's
Yeah, and I feel like people are
Absolutely.
pushing
started
back,
out.
like, oh, this white rapper, going back to the pop trajectory, like we expected. Like I've been seeing that a lot. Like,
they want that they want to manifest that, but like I respect him so much because despite everyone thinking he's eventually going to turn and pick up a guitar and go pop or go alternative,
Yeah, I've been
he's still
seeing that.
rapping.
yeah,
Like he'll give you a Lovin' on Me, he'll give you a First Class, but he's still rapping. Like at his core, he's a rapper, which I really respect. From
yeah,
him, so.
that's his dream, like to be
Yeah.
a rapper. It
Yeah.
wasn't to be like a pop star. So
He checks off a lot of the boxes
just
to
about to
be
say that.
one of them ones.
He's marketable.
Yeah, he's marketable. He's
Women love
talented.
him.
yeah, say all
He
the things.
starred in a movie already, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
He,
White
he
man
got
can
all the
jump.
cosigns. He
Yeah.
got the Drake feature,
Yeah,
DJ
yeah.
drama. Like he has all of the things that say, yo, he can be and should be the next star.
Yeah.
But like you said, to that point of switching it up, he has to tread lightly when it comes to diving back into like his white roots.
Yeah.
But they're not calling him Logic though.
But that's what I'm saying, right?
He's not too far
because
gone.
as soon as you do the Justin Timberlake or the Post Malone, and you're like, hey, man in the woods, it's like, all right, now he gotta wait till he sells a couple more records.
Truthfully, the biggest pushback he gets is that his style is so similar to Drake. People think he's doing Drake cosplay.
Yeah,
and it's like
I can hear it.
I get that, but when have we ever like? Drake doesn't necessarily have a son in music. Like, it's been a lot of people who have tried to be or do what Drake does, but not ever to this degree. And I feel like every big artist or generational artist, we've seen like a direct descendant, and Drake doesn't have that. So I'm just like, for this to be the first guy to really lean into the Drake style, I'm not mad at it, because like other niggas have dabbled, but they try to act like too cool to do what Drake does. But Jack is like, no, like, I'm gonna make music for women. Yeah. I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna have these pop, repetitive type choruses, bubblegum type shit, and I'm also just be me, be authentic. So I don't know. I have a respect for that.
I think after Churchill Downs, which is a song with him and Drake,
he got washed.
Yeah,
I got washed. It's okay.
Jack, my dog, he got cleaned up.
A lot of niggas have gotten cleaned up. It's all right.
So I'm not gonna pull $100 grand out.
Not Drake.
Do you really understand?
Do you really understand?
No, but do you really understand that? Like, I'm hip hop.
I'm hip hop. Do you really understand that?
I don't think niggas.
That's an insane bar to say after that $100 grand bar, but whatever. We'll let it slide.
Spitting though.
After Drake cleaned him on that record.
Yeah.
Me personally, I felt like I saw him make a concerted effort to select more Drake type beats. Mm-hmm. And I heard that on his production on his next project. And
Jackman,
that production where it's like underground water shit. I'm talking to the women, R&B trap hip hop songs with that R&B vocal in there. You know what I mean? Like, he leaned more into that because I knew Jack when he was wearing glasses.
Yeah, bro.
With what was that? Cake, baby, pick your phone up.
Yeah, that's
pick your phone up.
Where he was wearing like Aeropostale and shit.
Yeah, like I know that Jack, and I enjoyed that music.
And the song where he flipped Usher, You Don't Have to Call.
Oh man. Come on now.
Yeah,
I'm into that. So, we'll see what he
Jack's
does.
good. He's super talented.
I think going to your point where you said Drake doesn't have a quote unquote son.
Right.
I think his influence was so broad and his style is so broad that it's hard to pinpoint just one person. Because when you said that, I thought about Tory Lanez and the influence that Drake has had on the Tory Lanez.
Okay.
Like, if anybody is and I'm not calling Tory Lanez Drake's son, but I think he's probably the most successful artist that was heavily influenced and even embraces that more than anybody. I think Jack Harlow, when it goes to his correlation with Drake, is like, you can tell, I believe he's Gen Z, right? He's probably Gen Z.
He's like 26.
He probably did grow up on Drake. And so who else would he look to as a musical influence if not Drake, right? Like, for him specifically. So that actually is an interesting point. I would love to like see a Drake or just artists in general, like the tree, right? Yeah. Like, who took what from where? Because you could go to Bryson Tiller. A lot of people said Bryson Tiller was an offspring of Drake, but then Jack Harlow and Bryson Tiller, the only thing they got in common is where they're from.
Yeah.
Right, from a music standpoint, I don't really see it. So I think that's a dope. Like, I would love, maybe that's something we explore one day, right? Just the family trees of these artists, and Drake's will look crazy compared to like other people.
It's just like, it's a whole generation of rappers that Drake has influenced. So it's like a generation, so we can't really pinpoint it. But a family tree would be fun because that also has to see who, well, this is my opinion, like who Drake has also co-signed and embraced, then we could include him in the family tree. So that'll be fun to like really think about one day.
Yeah. That's a great point, Armon.
Yeah, but the record itself, Just Us, it took some time to grow on me. I like it. I don't love it. Like, I've liked some Jack singles more than this one. Like, Lovin' On Me, I really fucked with.
That was
First Class. Like, that one took some time to grow on me, but I really loved it. This one, it's cool. It's cool. Like,
I thought Doja's verse was fire.
Yeah. She went crazy.
She walked him?
Crazy.
It's okay. It's all right.
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, I think she had the better verse.
I think she walked him.
She might have walked him
That's
down.
my dog. I told you.
The Doja, problematic as she is, she don't miss, man. She don't miss.
She can rap.
She be going crazy.
Is she still problematic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she is.
Damn, I've been missing the problematic shit from her.
I don't know if she's done stuff recently, but just the things that she has done in the past, they were like, they still like, you'll always think about them.
It was like a year and a half ago. She was wearing some crazy clothes. I don't want to incorrectly attribute what I think she was doing, but it was just some crazy shit. It was some crazy shit that people were. But then she gave us fucking Agora Hills and Paint the Town Red. It was like, It's like I've said this for
And
years.
there were amazing songs.
Good music
Yeah.
will niggas will overlook a lot when the music is good unless you do something to a certain level.
I agree.
And Doja has been able to skate by and continue to be successful. So
And she's
Yeah.
talented.
yeah,
When you're talented, you can take some punches.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. Another project I want to talk about. This one is near and dear. This guy, Rain. He is
Hey.
Kojo's artist.
Facts.
Kojo, who I've known for like almost, I think like 6 years now.
Solid guy right there.
You talk to Kojo probably within like the first like hour or two, he'll bring up Rain. Like Rain was someone who before he officially managed him, he might as well have been his manager, and that's the type of manager you want. A
That
nigga-
really believes in your journey.
yeah. Like
true.
like Kojo's been waving the flag for years. Like Rain is one of the best rappers in New York, and really for me, it was just like seeing it. Like seeing the proof of concept, and Rain's put out great freestyles over the years, put out great records here and there. But like this project, I've kind of dubbed it like his official debut project, even though he's put out EPs and stuff before. Just the way that they're approaching it.
Yeah.
So It's Up Forever is out now. A 6-song project. The first song is an interlude. He's talking to his daughter, super adorable.
Loved it.
But yeah, I thought it was a really great project. Well, One Day at a Time, I really loved. In the last song, he flips Drake pipe down, raps his ass off on that.
Crazy.
I thought it was great. It's a really good, breezy, 15-minute listen, so super easy for y'all to get through. I'm sure you listened.
I did. My favorite song is One Day at a Time.
Yeah.
With Drummer. I think that has Dizzy production on it.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I heard it. Dizzy violated.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rain, you spin your ass off, my dog.
Yeah,
I can
he's
hear the
genuinely an
evolution.
amazing rapper,
No,
yeah.
he's really good. No bullshit. I like
Sure.
that song a lot. I was singing on the way here, actually.
Yeah.
Big shot. And it's only 5 songs if you
Yeah.
don't count the intro, which is just interlude.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody take a listen.
Please do.
Yeah,
Please do. Big Brooklyn, what up?
Great shit, man.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
No, I'm very happy to see it. Like I can tell this is a real labor of love for them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was talking to him about it at John's party, and just his excitement about it. Like it just felt different. Like you know that project for artists where they're just like, yo, this is
it.
this is the one.
Yeah, you can feel it.
And I've been doing my part to get it out to some peers in the journalism space. So I'm hoping all the love and flowers that the project deserves come its way. But I definitely wanted to give some time to shout it out. One of the songs is my slide for later, so I'll be playing that later. But Rain, shout out to you. Kojo, shout out to you.
Salute y'all.
Great project. It is literally up forever. Yeah.
Another Taurus.
Great
That's crazy.
title. Damn.
Rain.
Big Taurus
Today,
energy.
Taurus Day?
Might as well
Taurus
be.
energy.
Would you ever be an artist manager?
Yeah, I kind of do that now.
Hard left. But like actually though, but because you're very, you know a lot of rappers and you
Yeah.
support them, but like, would you commit like a Kojo to a Rain where you're like, yo, this is my artist?
Once our load lightens here,
You would?
yeah, I would. But
Really?
He already does.
yeah, I kind of already do. I'll be honest with you, and I do it for free too.
I know you help people, but like I'm
Yeah.
saying like a manager, because that's they
I
say
tell-
that's the most thankless job
It is
in the entire industry.
the most thankless job. I've actually just booked something for people recently, and I'm just sitting here like, well, damn, that's it. You ain't gonna dap me up and jump up and down. But I do enjoy just sharing knowledge. And I was like, damn, we ain't gonna jump up and down. But I do enjoy sharing knowledge of the things that I know, because I feel like if I know all this shit and I'm not spreading it, what is it worth?
Spready
Aw.
Gibbs.
Spread it. I
gotta
mean,
spread
not
it.
that much spreading,
Episode title.
but salute.
You gotta spread the
Yeah, that's a
love.
lot of spreading.
Look
Salute.
at you being generous.
For sure.
Yeah,
Thanks, Reg.
I tried to manage artists several years ago, but honestly, I was unemployed and broke, so I just feel like
It's not easy when you're
I didn't have much to offer then. I think now I'm in a much better position to do it, but I still want to establish myself even more before I really do it. But it is fun. Being in the studio, there's nothing better than being in the studio.
Yeah.
Just seeing the process and then advocating for them, helping book shows.
Yes, and being honest.
Yeah,
I
being
think a
honest
lot of
too.
artists
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't receive honesty
For sure.
because they get trapped up in this type of music that they make.
Yeah.
So they don't realize, like, okay, cool, maybe this is another opinion from another ear.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go in this direction. Maybe because I continue to do what I'm doing, I can't see anything else. So
Yeah.
it's always fun.
100%.
Yeah.
Last project that we got to get to, titled Music by Playboi Carti. 30-song
30 joints.
album.
Wow.
Mhm.
Features from
Wow.
Travis Scott, Future,
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar,
Janae.
Janae Aiko. Who else on there? Lil Uzi Vert was on there. Skepta was on there.
Skep, Big
the
Smoke.
Weeknd. This was highly anticipated. You know, people have been telling us
Yeah.
Playboi Carti is the next superstar in rap. And he's been elusive. He's been mysterious. Like you talk about that mystique stuff that like Frank Ocean does. Like Playboi Carti is definitely the next one to really adopt it. And this project was delayed a lot, and it was alluded to for a while, and it finally arrived this month. How do we feel about the overwhelming amount of music that was Playboi Carti music?
Real quick, Armon, because you mentioned the whole debate around his superstardom.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are the music people that I rely on. Is he a superstar?
No.
He's a star. Superstar, I think, is a term that's used for, they know you in every household.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they know Playboi Carti in every household.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I do think that he has
He's
a
a
very
star.
large following.
Okay.
And the
He's
kids like
probably
him,
like the biggest niche artist right now.
so.
but
No
to
question.
me-
Almost like an NBA young boy.
Yeah, I was
That's
literally
a
thinking
good
that.
comp. That's
But
a good
bigger.
comp. That's a good comp. But yeah, a little bigger.
All right.
Because their
Bigger.
audiences are so like unfathomably massive.
Yeah.
But in terms of like household name, performance, I don't know. Yeah, superstar, I don't know.
Because I can easily be titled a hater when it comes to certain shit like this.
Right.
This is like, I know what it is,
Yeah.
but I would never look at him and say he's a superstar.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how many
Me
albums he
neither.
said. Like that, he just doesn't check the boxes for me as what a superstar is. So
Yeah.
I wanted to actually, because y'all are way like Alex just was talking about, the producers of an artist who is still on his, like, y'all are all really tapped in that way.
Facts.
And so
Yeah.
maybe I could be missing some things, and I'm okay to having blind spots.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe I was in the wrong and not knowing that he is a superstar. But if y'all are saying he's not a superstar,
I mean,
then I feel comfortable saying that he is not a fucking superstar.
The kids will tell you he's a superstar.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. If you talk to someone like 12 to like
Yeah.
23,
Yeah.
like the YNs,
Yeah.
the YNs,
I don't know, no YNs.
Playboi Carti is their Drake. Playboi Carti is their Jay-Z.
And I get
Magnum
that.
opus.
Like
I get that.
I'm in group chats with people younger than me who talk about music as if it's like Illmatic
Yeah.
or like Blueprint.
Yo,
like
that
these
ass.
niggas love that album, and there's a good amount of it that I really like too. Like I probably saved like 12 to 14 songs.
But I think, again, just going back to the superstar conversation, then again, I'm sorry for
No, you're good.
hijacking the
You're
question
good, bro.
real quick.
It's a great, it's a great conversation to have. I think
For sure.
I think it's important because I think the word superstar gets thrown around very irresponsibly, very loosely. And I know the superstars that I grew up on, and I know the superstars, the actual superstars of today. And I think that we gotta kind of dial it back with who we put this label on.
Because it reminds me when I was growing up, and I remember how vividly my grandmother, she could not stand lick me like a lollipop.
Wayne,
Lil Wayne.
But she knew
Yep.
who Lil Wayne. She knew
Yeah.
who he was.
Yeah.
She understood the impact. She knew the songs.
Yeah.
Like she knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
All of those things. But she wasn't a fan of his,
Yeah.
right? Like she wasn't getting in the car and bumping Carter 3.
Yeah.
Right? But that's what a superstar is to me. Somebody
Yeah.
who just kind of translates those audiences in a way where it's undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Even if they
the
don't.
Grammys, the MTV Awards are building their show around this one artist being in the audience or
Yeah.
performing. Like that's what a superstar is, in my opinion. And I know things have changed because we're in like the digital era. So maybe I'm just not seeing things, but I do know he has a massive impact.
He does.
I know he has a wide audience.
Yeah.
But like I will never, I don't ever have to hear his music in life, and
Yeah.
I'll be okay, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I feel you.
but I understand his importance to like the generation. So I was really curious. We haven't spoken about it on our pod at all.
At all.
So thank you for just bringing this
sure.
up because
I
I
don't know,
wasn't
'cause
sure.
I'm just like open to it for someone. I'm still open to someone calling him a superstar though, because if I'm just because I'm not in that audience,
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know. So,
Yeah.
but if he were to, let's say, headline Coachella this year, some people maybe our age would be like, what, like what? But if we see the footage, that's probably gonna be an insane show, and like the
Yeah.
crowd will be with him. So I'm like open to the possibility of it, but in my personal opinion, I don't know.
His live show experience is very active. I've been at some of his shows. He's not the best performer, but just the whole
The
experience of it,
the
like
mosh
the
pit.
moshing, the energy, everything. It's like if you're in that environment, you're like, oh, I get it now. I get it. Like if you're listening to Playboi Carti on your headphones or even in a car, you don't necessarily get it till you get around that. But people our age, we probably wouldn't necessarily be around that. So like I get it. Like to me, like superstardom is polarizing, and I don't necessarily think Playboi Carti is like polarizing.
Not
I
visible
think,
enough.
Yeah, I think only to the old heads who are real hip hop, pure rap. Like they don't like Playboi Carti, but I don't think like the masses, like no one hates him. They just kind of they might not hear him.
They just, like, don't get it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't get crazy radio play.
So
No,
how
he
that,
doesn't
and
get
that's
radio
why
play.
that's
He
why
doesn't
in
get
my
radio
you
play.
can't be a superstar.
Right.
Yeah,
In my
we're on the same,
opinion,
no, we're on the same page.
That's
I'm
what
like
I'm
the
trying
radio
to say.
play.
That's my thing.
That
Because a
matters.
big misconception, and you work in radio,
Yeah.
people think radio doesn't matter anymore. Radio is huge.
Yeah, that matters.
They are
Radio
highly
is still
mistaken.
very huge. And like his album, you could see from the charts that come out, he's not getting any radio play right now. And he's got 3 songs with Kendrick Lamar. He's got a Weekend record. Like
Right.
niggas who do well on radio, and they're just not there.
Okay.
So,
You know, we're in the streaming era, so most people
Yeah.
that don't understand the importance of radio will just never understand that, hey, if you want your music to stake, if you want it to stay, if you want it to continue to sell at a high level,
Yeah.
you're going to need some of that play over there.
Yeah, we need to hit the common listener.
yeah.
Yeah,
100%,
facts.
100%.
I feel
But
less
he
of a
has
hater.
he has so many major people, A-list people on his album.
Yeah.
And he has songs with billions of streams on Spotify. Like
Yeah.
he kind of, you know, people can make a case. Is
Yeah,
what
no.
I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
he had crazy momentum coming into this album. He had Fiend with Travis Scott.
Yeah.
He was on Carnival. He with Kanye.
was on No
Ty Dolla
Face.
Sign. He was on No Face, even though he got taken off eventually.
Yeah.
He was on Type Shit with Future Metro and
Facts.
Travis. Like he had great
Blick
momentum.
some, Lotto.
Blick some, Lotto. You're right,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like he had great momentum coming into this, and I see a lot of people who are very satisfied with this. I mean, off rip, 30 songs is just a lot for me. That's just a lot to take in.
Definitely a lot
It's
to take in.
just it's a lot. Yeah, you're right. Pause that.
He surprised me though, because
yeah.
to Reggie's point about the common listener, I think that's kind of who he appeased.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll speak personally.
This
here.
feels like his most mainstream album.
No question.
Yeah.
And I like the album. My God, was that Dial It with Poke It Out?
Dial It, yeah.
Poke It Out.
Dial
No,
It's
the one
hard.
before that, Playboi
Playboi
Carti,
Carti, self-entitled.
that is his
Self-titled.
most mainstream album.
think so?
Because that was when New
Really?
York, that was
Magnolia,
2017. Yeah.
Okay.
Magnolia.
Woke
Okay,
up
I'm
to
not mad at that,
niggas
yeah, 'cause
talking
Magnolia
like
did
me.
Yeah.
That's the last time I heard him.
Yeah, it was 2018.
That's that's mainstream. That's a mainstream indicator.
That is
Yes.
the last time that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
he's making something that we feel.
Yeah.
And as we, I mean mainstream. Like y'all know me. I
Right.
get in the car and I listen to Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber, right? Like
Facts.
mainstream, like
Or white men.
No, it's interesting because like the bigger he's gotten, the further away he's gotten from like these mainstream like
He
what's the word pillars
absolutely
of things like
and that's why I hated a whole lot of Red.
yeah
Like when you think about the new hip hop fan,
Mhm.
right? Let's say 6 through 15.
Mhm.
A lot of them subscribe to where rock and roll meets hip hop.
yeah
And when a whole lot of Red came, which is his last project,
yeah.
turned me the fuck off.
I didn't like Whole Lot Red at all.
Not really my bag,
Yeah.
not really my shit. But I did like Dial It.
Yeah,
And he really made. See, you're right. Playboi Carti, the self-entitled album, that was pretty mainstream.
it was. Yeah,
He actually went into this project though, knowing, all right, cool. I'm gonna put Ty Dolla Sign and Young Thug on the song.
mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do a record with The Weeknd, and I'm gonna make it very palatable.
yeah.
So as to where if you don't like what the fuck I'm rapping about, you're gonna sing to The
You
Weeknd's
gonna
part.
fuck that hook.
Yeah. And that was
It's a good
strategically
hook.
done.
It's a good hook.
Yeah,
Even if he's using AI, it's a good hook.
great hook. Put Kendrick on there.
Yeah,
I, for one, I wasn't surprised with the Kendrick stuff.
yeah. Me neither.
Armon, I know you know.
Yeah.
Cardo got Wangs.
Yep.
And Kendrick Lamar and Playboi Carti are very close.
Yep.
Cardo has produced for Schoolboy Q's of the world,
Larry June.
Larry June, Jeezy, Jay-Z, and he works primarily, as of recent, with Playboi Carti.
Yep.
He also produced Euphoria.
Yep.
So when you kind of put these things into scope, it's like, okay, cool. Though Kendrick Lamar is might bar you up type of artist, and Playboi Carti is fun music, there is a world where the two worlds can meet because of people that know each other.
I have to ask about the one of the prevailing conversations about the Kendrick Playboi Carti collabs. On Meet the Grams and records like that.
Yeah.
Kendrick called Drake out for being a deadbeat and all these different things, and then he goes and works with Playboi Carti, who Iggy Azalea has been telling us for years that Playboi Carti is a deadbeat, and all these negative traits. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel Kendrick Lamar is a hypocrite? Do you judge
Yes.
him for it?
For sure.
No.
I mean, it's not like no.
That's my dog.
Okay,
yeah.
no, but he's shunning he's dissing someone for being deadbeat. You're working directly with a deadbeat. It is hypocritical,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Like,
But-
I don't think it's the biggest deal because it's just like so common. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's something to get like my opinion like extremely riled up about. Is like people are hypocrites every day.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think he's a hypocrite because it's work. I sent you a verse and that's it.
no, but he
There's
seems
buddy-
buddy with Playboi Carti though.
Does he? I'm not tapped in.
He's on like
anything, but-
multiple songs
No,
with him. Like,
okay, but again, it's work. It's a business thing. It makes sense for me to be on this album. He's the biggest person,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, on the
Sure.
cusp of rap, and I'm him. It's my moment right now too. So I think it makes sense. I don't think he's hypocritical for jumping on a song,
But-
and like it's personal and it's business.
But
And
just
I think
because
the
it's
Drake,
work-
the Drake and the Kendrick thing was personal.
But
they
just
were
because
speaking to
it's-
each other personally.
But just because it's work, somebody could still say it's hypocritical.
Yeah, and you have made your morals a big part of your business. And speaking about Kendrick Lamar, like his morals are like Pimp a Butterfly, like everything he's talking about on that album, Mr. Morale, all of that. Like the way he's presented himself and the awards he's gotten as a result, and the recognition he gets is a result of who he presents himself to be.
yeah.
So then turning around, working with Playboi Carti, standing alongside Dr. Dre, all these different things, like it looks crazy.
But I
Like,
think that's hypocritical for the people who are judging that. Because if you were to avoid all of the immoral things that people did on a day-to-day, we probably wouldn't talk to anybody.
Sure.
Right? Like, that's just what it is. So you kind of pick and choose.
But it's different when you put it out there that, yo, these things are wrong. I'm judging you for these things. I'm going to make the world judge you for
yeah,
these
Kendrick
things.
made a diss song about
and then,
it. Like,
and then you go fuck with someone who does all those
But
things.
who says he's not judging Playboi Carti? Who says he doesn't feel the same way about Playboi Carti?
I don't think there's a problem with calling him a hypocrite. I'm doubling down on why I think he's a hypocrite. He hates Drake. The two of these people, this is what we be forgetting about certain relationships. The two of these people actually have a deep hatred for each other. We know this behind scenes, real shit. So if you actually hate someone, everything else goes out the room. Everything else goes out the door. You're like, you know what? My morals, everything I align with, for this one little thing right here, fuck that. Just because I hate this person so much. It's okay for him to be. We're all hypocrites. We've all been a hypocrite at one point in life.
I feel like because it's Kendrick, we're having a conversation of hypocrisy when it comes to a collaboration. That's the only reason why. Because Kendrick has made not a career, but his morality has been heavily influenced on how we see him and how we view him. And that's a part of his brand, right? Where he stands on the side of history, standing up for black people, all of those things. But if we just peel back, this is an artist to artist. All of these artists have done fucked up things and criticized this person. We see it at the awards every single year.
Yeah.
Every year we see somebody accept an award and praise this movement and praise that movement, but then they're in a scene kissing somebody who goes against everything they stand for, right? Like, it's just business. So I think we wouldn't even be having this conversation if it wasn't Kendrick.
Bro, yeah, because again, he put it out there. Like he stood on that. Like that was his thing throughout the entire beef, was like judging you as a man, your characteristics, your behaviors as a man. If he ain't say any of that, niggas wouldn't care.
Hey,
Like, and granted, I like Backdoor. Backdoor's a good song.
Backdoor is
That
my
joint hard.
favorite
That
Kendrick
joint hard, I'm not
feature
gonna
on there.
front.
I don't
I'm
need the
like-
other two.
And
I'm
did
like,
he call him a deadbeat? Or was
Yes.
that Pusha T?
Nah, well, I mean, push that at
called-
first.
actually,
Push that
did-
at first, but Kendrick doubled
I
down
was
on it.
playing-
I don't know if that was
oh
a
yeah, he called him a
theme.
pedophile.
That's different than a deadbeat.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. Like,
I think literally the last couple of lines of Meet the Grams are like, you're a deadbeat who deserves something.
Okay.
Like,
Oh yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Something who shouldn't say more life. Like that's literally the last line of Meet the Grams.
Oh yeah, when he was talking about like his hidden daughter. and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Like he called him a deadbeat.
So if we're talking about he's a deadbeat off of an imaginary daughter, right? Because also, I think we talked about it on our pod. I think that was just a hypothetical verse, as is in case Drake did ever have a daughter. That's what I think, right? I don't think he was saying Drake has a daughter. Here we go. That's just my
I'm
in
not at it.
hindsight, right?
I'm glad you brought this up.
Because I don't believe that was a sticking point or a talking point throughout that beef. Yes, they hate each other. Yes, he called him a pedophile. Yes, he spoke to his morals and lack thereof. But being a deadbeat was more so a Pusha T thing than it was a Kendrick thing, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, regardless of who said it
Yeah.
first, Kendrick brought it up too.
Okay,
So like,
all right.
it's still something that.
All right.
Yeah.
Being a
but-
shitty father.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, that's been the prevailing conversation about this project, and I mean, I get it. I mean, a lot of it has been the stands pushing it. This whole ordeal has created the biggest stand war of all time. I found it very funny, but I'll admit I do like Backdoor. Backdoor's a good song, even though it's kind of like Luther, but like with vamp influence. But, you know, like it's fine. It works for me. But yeah, solid project. I don't necessarily love it as much as everyone else loves music by Playboi Carti. Right. It did 298 first week. It's number one. It was projected to do more, and then for some reason it didn't do as much. You know, these numbers been real shaky lately. I don't know if y'all noticed Billboard's delays with the charts for the last like months.
You're right.
We've never seen all this, and with all this botting shit coming up, it was just funny. It's just funny to see. It's just I don't know.
The way that's PMC gang.
And a salute to Billboard. I love them, but you know, this is Armon, the human, not Armon the journalist who works with PMC talking. It's just crazy to see. Yeah, it's crazy to see.
Like there's some back and forth and just stuff.
There's some stuff happening behind the scenes. I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, I just do think. I'm just thinking throughout this conversation, like I do think artists are very hypocritical, but I also can't be person. I can't be mad at every hypocrite because then that'll be so much to keep up with. Yeah. Like I do like to try to support people who have good morals and stand on things, but I can't keep up with every hypocrite. And
it's okay to say someone's a hypocrite. Well, on the Need to Know podcast, when he did the Super Bowl, you two remember what I said about him and Dr. Dre? Yeah, I ran up in here and said it. Yeah. Wait, even though I'll remind you, even though I hailed Kendrick as the victor, I definitely came up in the podcast because I'm gonna keep it 100 every time. Crazy. I say I ain't gonna lie, Kenny, you my dog, but looks crazy.
It looks crazy
with the Dr. Dre allegations. So it is what it is. Music is music. That's why I was dying on the hill of when you hate someone. When you hate someone, all your logic, your morals, everything you stand on just goes out the fucking window.
Yeah, and that's something I understand, I accept, and I agree with. But it's just when you look outside of that and you look at these things for what they are, it's like that looks a little crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little crazy, but. Yeah, so Suit to Playboi Carti, #1 album right now.
I do like the project though. Way more songs than I thought I would like on that.
Yes.
Way more. Hated the intro though.
What was the intro?
Don't play it.
You said play it?
Don't play it.
Don't play it. Okay. Yeah, no, I was gonna look it up to see the name, but
real quick, Armon, I know you're a guy of 3-song runs.
Yes.
The 3-song run on this album.
You know me so well.
I do, my man. I got you, bro. Man. I love you too, bro. From Rather Lie, Fine Shit, and Backdoor.
Yes.
You got me.
And then the Toxic is after that with Skepta, right?
You know how I feel about Skepta.
You don't like Skepta?
I love Skepta.
Oh, yeah.
My Nigerian brother.
That's a great record.
Big Smoke.
Great record. That's a 4-song run for me.
You right. I'm sorry. Let's call it a 4-song.
It's all good.
Yeah, not a bad project for the older people that enjoyed the fun music from Playboi Carti 2017, 2018. This project,
you might like this one.
You might like this one.
Yeah.
Not all of it though, because I definitely don't like every song. Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what it is for me? And I know you was transitioning.
You good?
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Oh, that's
we
fair.
know.
So it's hard to like. I think that's what it is with me because
you gotta like the artist to really listen to him.
I mean, but as long as you like know that and say that, that's also fine. You know,
it's cool.
I don't like his fans.
Oh, damn.
Oh, now we're
that's the thing.
It's
going. Bro, I can't. It's hard for me.
He's
to
like,
get
I don't want to support him
like,
at all.
I respect it because it's hard to even get to the level that he's at. Yeah. So I'm always gonna But I'm because I think about the people in my phone who like really fuck with him, right? And I'm like, yo, I can do without
judge them.
Nah, I do.
No,
I got to.
SaVon, music is about frequency, dog. When you were a little baby and you didn't know words yet, and your body moved to the flow of the motion of whether it be a Michael Jackson, a Prince, you didn't know what was going on. Your body was telling you to do that.
I think he puts out the wrong frequencies into the world.
All right, for you, that's fair, because a lot of people like that shit.
For a lot, and I think it gets really deep into like music theory.
Yeah, it does.
And satanic shit, and that's and I don't want to do that on his pod.
Nah, you good. I ain't gonna do him like that.
I brought you here to be honest.
I can see
he thank God on one of them songs.
How they play, and his God might be different from your God and not my God, so I don't want to talk into that. But I can just see how they try to like play in your face, and he's just one of those artists for me where I feel like he be playing in our faces with a certain his marketing strategy. I think Lil Uzi's another one of those artists who does the same thing. I think a lot of artists do that, but those two in particular and him specifically, even I love fucking St. John.
Oh well.
I love St. John. I didn't really like his last album as much, but I see him kind of playing in that. Like they try to blur the lines between all of that stuff, and
Crosses and
it's
stuff,
hard
yeah,
for
yeah.
me to even get to the music when you
Yeah.
present yourself a certain way. It's like
feel
you giving me every reason not to fuck with you, but go get your bag, do what you gotta do, vamp life, right?
Yeah, it's not your shit.
But
Like it's not your thing. It's not your thing. Yeah.
Like people publicly love. I gotta publicly hate that type of shit.
I think that's okay unless you. I mean, as long as you. Right now, your explanation of like, yo, this gives me a weird vibe. I'm not comfortable with it.
That's
You
fair.
know, I'm a man of God. Like all that stuff. You could say that and be like, that's why I'm not tapped into his music.
Yeah.
But then you can't say that and be like, and his music, it's just bad. Like, cause now we know your opinion is not objective. You know,
like Travis Scott. He falls in the same line of shit.
Yeah, you
where
haven't brought this up
It
before.
just I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Yeah, Alex knows I used to fucking love Travis.
Me
Scott.
too. Me too.
Nah,
I've
facts.
become very disenchanted with Travis Scott over the
Oh,
years.
what an
Like,
awesome fucking journalistic word.
yeah,
That's why I love
he's-
writers.
he's-
Damn.
he
You heard
is
him.
not moving me at all these days.
Because remember Birds in the Trap, Astro World,
Yeah.
like amazing
He was on
project,
top
and
of the
now,
world.
like you know,
Yeah.
It's just fucking dilute. It's just not. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's using AI a lot too. There's four really big, like, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Like,
Artist.
Well, artists, but like
Yeah.
it's a pejorative. I don't know.
Hey
I'm
man,
fucking with
use
it.
the
but-
words to Regi. bro.
Yeah,
You
I'm
me
fucking up. But like Travis, Ye, Weeknd, and Cardi all use AI super crazily, and now I can hear it.
Yeah.
Like I can hear when a song is made to sound like you, but it's not you for
Yeah.
real. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, you used to be so creative. Like the Weeknd who made Trilogy and Dawn FM and all this. Now he's just making AI records. I'm like, bro, really?
I like Dawn FM.
Dawn FM's fantastic.
I
It's
love Dawn
fantastic. I'm just like, damn.
That's the
bro.
one with Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
man.
another white man.
Great album.
Yeah.
Reggie's quiet because she hates the weekend.
That's funny.
I'll say it.
I'm stitching.
I said it mad times.
You've owned it. You've owned it.
She's owned it.
I
I
salute
don't hate
that.
him. I'm just not the biggest fan of his voice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
I
Every time I'm
respect
trying to
that.
Same thing to
listen,
say one.
It's definitely an acquired taste.
I'm like, this is a great song, but I just
Need
someone
another
else
voice.
take it.
it don't move you the way it moves other people. That's okay. All right. So for our Patreon segment, the first quarter of the year is almost over. So I just wanted to talk to you about what your favorite music release of the first quarter of 2025 is so far. So, ladies first. That's our Patreon. For those of you who are not subscribed to the Patreon, you can hear us discuss our favorite Q1 music releases, and you can hear a fun Fuck, Marry, Kill, and a One Gotta Go. Before we jump into our board meeting, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but I do a word of the week on Stay Busy. And so I'm going to present you guys with a new word of the week. This is vicissitudes. Can you say vicissitudes with me?
Vicissitudes.
Vicissitudes.
Damn.
Vicissitudes is a noun that means the changes and challenges that occur in the course of life and experience. And I think this plays perfectly into the board meeting for this week. Now, I know you three, I've been listening to y'all throughout the entire year. Listening to y'all for 4 years, but especially
brother.
within this last year, there's been a prevailing topic that comes up in a variety of ways, whether it's new music, whether it's a new headline, whether it's a rumor, whether it's a clip, whether it's whatever. It's this rap beef, this Drake-Kendrick Lamar rap beef and all of the subplots of it. And I know you've discussed ad nauseum the Super Bowl and just all these different things. So I don't necessarily want to touch on all those topics, even though I haven't been potting all this time. So I haven't had a chance to speak on them, but I want to take a different approach to all this and really discuss like my personal experiences. So this is almost going to be like me venting or me in therapy, but I would like you guys commentary on it because opinions you all have shared play into some of the thoughts that I've had and the progression that I've experienced with this thing. So I want to start with you, Alex.
Okay.
From the beginning, one thing that you said was picking a side in the beef was corny. And I agreed with that. I feel like as time has passed on, there are people who weren't even super big Kendrick fans that are now waving the Kendrick flag proudly
Right.
with him dominating the charts with whatever. And I don't even know if it's necessarily genuine Kendrick fandom or it's just anti-Drake, feelings.
Right.
And so I've thought about the concept of a side and picking a side. And Metro said it, when We Don't Trust You came out, he's like, you'll pick a side and stay there, all that stuff.
He did say that.
And we are seeing these warring sides, these warring fandoms. Even some journalists have jumped into it. And I've thought about my stance within it as a journalist, but also as a human being. And, I came to the conclusion that for me, Armon Sadler, the person, didn't have to pick a side. My side already, I already knew where I leaned.
Exactly.
I am a way bigger Drake fan than I would ever be a Kendrick fan. And I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. Going into the beef with Meek, I thought Drake would win. Going to the beef with Push, I thought Drake would win. I thought he was more equipped. Going to the beef with Kendrick, I thought Drake could win. Those beefs played out the way that they played out. But, I think a lot of journalists and a lot of people who observe journalists might think that they utilize their journalistic status and broaden that to their entire being. And it's like, for me, even if this is my job,
yeah,
I am still a person. And as a person, you have natural biases. One of the things I've hated the most throughout this last year is the conversation of objectivity and bias. As a human being, you're just always going to have bias. Even if you don't pick a side, you might think someone is more talented. You might think someone is going to win. Even if like let's say SaVon goes to a basketball game. He's not a fan of either team, but he thinks one team is going to win.
Yeah.
That's still a bias.
That's a bias, yeah.
That's still a bias.
Yep.
Like if you think something is because you're giving your opinion on something. Now, if you show up at the end of the game and you see the score and you say this team beat that team, that's an objective take because that's what happened. There's closure in that. But if you're watching something happen and there's no finality to it and you give an opinion on it, that is technically a biased opinion. And I think people have misused the word bias throughout this experience. It's not a bad thing to be biased.
It's natural. We're human beings.
Exactly.
Right.
And so for me, this was inspired by my boy Cam, who I referenced earlier. People were coming at him on Twitter saying that he was pretending to be unbiased throughout the entire beef because he's obviously a huge Drake fan, but he was giving Kendrick praise throughout the entire thing. I'm like, I don't think that's pretending. I think you can be a big Drake fan but still give Kendrick credit. And the same way you can be a huge Kendrick fan and give Drake credit. And I think just because this became such a stan influence thing, people see one side saying something about the other side, and it's like, oh wait, but you a Sixer. You got the owls in your bio. Cam don't got no owls in his bio. I don't got no owls in my bio. But again, people know where I stand. But I'm like, I feel like you can be biased, acknowledge your bias, but then also give credit to the other side.
I absolutely agree. And from my POV, from when I said that, I'm speaking directly to the people where if it hinders your ability to be objective and to listen to music for what it is, super corny to me.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're human beings.
Yeah.
We like pancakes or we like waffles. It's my second pancake. You can see what's on my mind right now. Okay.
Are you hungry?
I'm eating some little maple syrup. Right? So those are the people that I was seeing online that I was bothered with.
Yeah.
Because instead of course, you've been listening to, if a person been listening to Drake and only Drake for the past 15 years, now, do I expect this person to be singing the songs of a Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But when it's battle time, I would appreciate for people that appreciate music, all right, cool. This is one song. Here's the other song. I'm going to objectively approach how I feel about it, though I might have an artist that I do like.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest about where the lyricism was better.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest about who had a better approach.
Yeah.
And that's like my big thing. A lot of people don't have the ability to separate the two.
Yeah.
As to where, because they're so blinded in their fandom, now you're biased and you're fucking corny because you don't have anything, I wouldn't say valuable to say, but you're not being objective.
Yeah.
So whatever you think about whatever you think is cool, but we're not meeting somewhere in the middle to have an actual conversation. So that's
why I try not to use the word objective. I try to use fair.
Right.
Like give a fair assessment because to me, again, objectivity, especially in music, it's a subjective art. It's a subjective thing. There's no scores. The only things we get that get quantified are sales and the amount of awards you get. And even the amount of awards you get are decided by a committee. And it's like who made that committee the ultimate judge of
all being,
what's a better album. Like Doja got rap album of the year this past it was Doja. It's like, but some people might have thought Future deserved it. And it's like, who's right in that situation? No one's necessarily right. So I try to use the word fair in that situation as opposed to objective because I can be on one side but also give a fair perspective. I thought Euphoria was fantastic. I thought Not Like Us was an all-timer. Like I hate hearing it now, but it's an all-timer. I would never take that away from it. And yes, Drake lost the beef. And again, there's no score for that. There's no objectivity to that. It's something that people just decide, and the culture decided that, you know, Drake lost that thing. But even with that, like, am I pretending to be unbiased if I say Drake lost, even though you know I'm on Drake's side? Like,
not at all.
It's like, what's the, you know, it just gets really murky there. And I think a lot of people allow the perspectives of stans to influence
the entire conversation,
how they assess anyone's opinions. One of the people I enjoyed listening to the most throughout all of this was Rob Markman. Rob Markman gave very just fair assessments of everything. He covered the entire thing. He had a video on a Kendrick song, video on a Drake song. He had a video on the lawsuits, videos on different articles and clips and all that, like all the little nuances that some people may not be covering. Rob Markman covered those. But I do believe even him, in being as fair as he could, I think that he probably had someone who he thought was going to win the beef. Now, if it was Drake or if it was Kendrick, does that mean that you take his word like less seriously? Does that have less merit to it?
No.
I don't think so either. And so I think people really like overly and irresponsibly attribute fandom to a lack of credibility.
Right.
And that's really annoying for me personally. There are people I know, people who I know was probably subtweeting me throughout the whole thing, and I'm just like, you know what, it's fine, it's whatever. Like, you know, like say what you want, feel how you want, but like, I feel like I kept it a buck throughout the whole thing. But you know, it got to a point where like enough was enough, because something interesting that I really realized is the Super Bowl was a big eye-opening situation for me. As much as it seemed like the people loved that performance, a lot of people didn't like it.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people were angry that he didn't perform his hits, or you know, whatever. And that's probably the biggest moment of Kendrick's last year where he got the most critiqued. And you saw a Punch come out and say like, or Top, whoever, it was like, oh, hip hop wasn't meant to be commercial, it was meant to be blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like so many times throughout this beef, hip hop has been redefined. Like, and so it's been hard to keep up with. Like, people have given different definitions to what hip hop is. Like when Euphoria dropped, people was like, oh, like you gotta have two black parents to understand what Euphoria is. Like, what the fuck, bro? Come on, man. Like, what are we doing?
That's too much.
What are we doing? And so, you know, it's just been really interesting to observe like the behaviors of people as a result of this situation, and just
eye-opening
the sides that people have run to. And it's made me really look at myself and think about myself. And like I literally, it was maybe last weekend or the weekend before that, like I saw some TikTok where it was some dude who was in his kitchen, and it was just like one Drake song playing after another, and the caption was, oh, this girl is looking for Not Like Us on my playlist. But it was just nonstop Drake songs. And I was like, yo, do I want to post this? Because I don't want people to like call me out on being a Drake fan or biased. I'm like, before I'm a journalist, I'm a human being. I'm fucking Armon Sadler.
Just post it.
There you go.
I'm posting this shit. And so I did. And like some people reacted. I had some conversations with some people, but I'm just like, did this really showed me how much I don't want to take myself too seriously as a journalist?
Yes.
Because like,
in general, bro,
when it comes to the work that I do, the writing that I've done, whether it's a news article or even the list that I'm assigned where I'm ranking the songs, I approach those from the most fair, striving to be objective place that I can be. But as myself, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, on my TikTok, I'm gonna have the opinion that I want to have. And if you want to hold that over me, like, do I have to be a journalist in every aspect of my life?
See, I'm glad you actually brought this up, because we are entering a new space when it comes to media, podcasts, journalism, radio, all of these things, right? Like, let's go to radio, right? I'll say Charlamagne, DJ Envy.
Facts.
They're not journalists. They're on the radio. Then we have other radio personalities who have more of a journalistic background, like Big Boy from LA.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would we consider him a journalist? I think he does a lot more research than a Charlamagne or DJ Envy, right? I think he's closer to a journalist than those two.
Sure.
But when you give your opinion on something, and then when you are credited as, I think Elliott Wilson, he struggles with this.
Yes.
Right? He struggles with the personality of who he is, me being Elliott Wilson, but also being esteemed, credited, journalists that people respect and have led the culture in, right? And so you are and when I say you, I mean journalists, Regi and yourself, Armon. Y'all are in this really weird position because your opinion and your bias is taken more seriously because of the title that you hold.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's like when we talk to the athletes who say they don't want to be a role model. It's like, sorry, dude. You're in this position by default. It does hold weight. You do have influence. You do have some merit to what it is that you do, what it is that you say, your influence. So I think it goes the same for y'all. Yeah, and it's no right or wrong, right? I don't want to sit here and act like I have the answer because I don't. Yeah. But I do know, as somebody who's studied media and somebody who's been in the space, if there was a journalist that I looked up to and I'm like, holy shit, their work is damn near the Bible, right? Yeah. If they report it, if they say it, if they write it down, that holds a lot of weight to me. And then on his personal life or her personal life, she's like, oh my God, this is my queen or this is my king. It just puts me in a weird position where at some point it sucks because you don't necessarily want to choose, but you almost feel like you're forced to choose, like Elliott Wilson in this whole dot era thing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a bias, right? For whatever the motive that comes behind it.
Yeah, and we know what's behind it.
And we know what's behind it, right? Like we get it, we see it. But then it's also like if he were to ever pick up the pen again and try to write an article covering this beef,
people are
I'm gonna know the perspective and where you're coming from, and so it blurs the line. So I always say the reason that I even found either one of you guys is through your work of writing. I was a inspired hater, jealous of their ability to fucking write in the ways that they do, and y'all. And all jokes aside, like y'all just motivated me. Y'all were my peers. I didn't know y'all from a can of fucking paint, but I kept seeing your work, and I'm like, these are the two people, legit. These two people I'm like, yo, they're fucking amazing at what they do. These are the type of journalists that I want to be in the same room as. And now, thank God, I'm here on the podcast with the both of you, right? But I could, like, at some point, had I stood on that trajectory, or if I stood on that side of it, what you guys say as journalists, it matters a lot more than what somebody like a talking head like myself or whoever says, because it just doesn't hold the same, merit, in my opinion. So I don't envy y'all in this position. I did envy y'all years ago coming up in my journalistic fucking endeavors, but today, like, I like being able to say, Drake is the greatest, which I've said on our podcast. Yes. Right? In 4K, I said he's just better than everyone.
He's just better.
He's just better.
He said it just like
Drake
that, too.
is just better.
And then in the same breath, I can go and say all the things I said about Kendrick, and I don't feel any responsibility to it. But when I have the title journalist, it gets tricky for y'all, man.
I don't know. It's like not that tricky for me because first I feel like, oh my God, I have so many thoughts, but I was like trying not to interrupt everybody's rants.
You're good.
But like, first of all, I just don't feel this immense pressure because a journalist, I'm not defined as like, that's not like my entire life. Like I'm more than a journalist. So it's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And so like the only thing that I owe people, because this is my job, I'm not here, whether I'm Regina, a Potter, or a journalist, I'm just not spewing misinformation and hate. That, as long as I adhere to that in my real life, in my kitchen table, like as long as I'm not doing that and being a detriment to society, like that's cool. That's the only rule I follow. But I feel no pressure of like tweeting my rant, like, yo, J. Cole's the greatest. Like I'll comfortably fire off those tweets, like, cause I'm a music lover. Like, yes, I'm a journalist, but I don't feel like I'm doing my job a disservice by telling everybody this is my favorite rapper, love Larry June. Like I don't feel like people are putting me at a magnifying glass and be like, wait, you're a journalist, you can't say your personal bias. Like, I'm like, no, as long as I'm not spewing misinformation, like blatantly, I feel like I'm doing fine.
I think you do a really great job of compartmentalizing. And I think, again, just going back to, because there's not a lot of hip-hop pundits who claim to be journalists. I think Elliott might be one of the only.
He's a rare case. Yeah, you know like that is honestly, and this is not shade, but that is his like identity. Yeah. It is. Like, so that's why he's struggling with this new chapter. Yeah. Whereas me, I feel like this is my job. I love it. It is my life, but like it doesn't define me, and like it really doesn't.
Is B Dot a journalist?
Yeah, he's a journalist too.
All right, cool.
Like do I expect for BYKE and Chubbs to be Team TDE? Do I expect for J Rock and Punch to be Team OVO?
Yeah.
of course, I would assume if you're an affiliate of one of these camps,
Yeah.
you're gonna have an allegiance to one person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Aside from that, these people don't know y'all.
Yeah, you normal people out here just literally observing, not close to the situation. Like
Just that simple concept.
It's weird. It definitely is weird.
They don't know you.
Yeah, but it is okay.
It's okay, though.
It's okay because there are varying levels of connection and affinity that people might have, whether it's healthy or not.
Right.
That they might have for these people that are involved in this shit. Like a lot of people really took that beef personally.
Yeah.
Like they really took that beef like to heart.
If I'm in OVO, I'm gonna take it personally.
Yeah.
If I'm not, why would I?
If you're a random nigga from Nebraska, like what does this really mean to you?
Come on, Zay.
I think we're in a really unique position, like amongst us here.
Facts.
Is because we aren't of this shit, right? We are actual fans of it, and I think our lack of bias comes from different places, right? Like Regi and Armon, y'all are journalists, so there's a certain integrity that you have to have when covering these things, when talking about these
especially when
things.
we're writing.
Yeah,
You're not putting your Drake fandomness into your article, like your news articles.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think y'all are forced to not have a bias when covering this because of that. So you can see the nuances in it all.
Yeah.
I think Alex,
I just like music.
He just loves music.
Yeah,
he loves it. And then my perspective when it came to this beef was I come from the era of competition.
Yeah.
I come from the sport of it all. It doesn't matter who I like.
Right.
Up until last year, Kendrick Lamar was not in my rotation. Kendrick Lamar was not in my Serato. But when it's time for battle, when it's time for the two best to go head to head,
He's ready.
I remember what that was like. And
Yeah.
that's what I judge this in particular battle on.
sure.
For the rest of my life, I'm going to listen to
respect
more
that.
Drake than I'm going to listen to Kendrick.
I respect
You
that.
know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
easier for me to, and that's the perspective I think we're missing. Most of the people on Twitter
You're
is
right.
missing, right?
Even that is based in music, what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's
right?
amazing.
That's the difference. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
this was a sport, and
Facts.
you said hip hop keeps getting remixed on how people define it.
Yeah.
You said that when you started this whole segment,
Yeah.
and I agree. Where we lost what the essence or one of the pillars of hip hop is, which is competition. And so once it's time to compete, let's just see where the chips may fall, and then
Yeah.
let's go from there. It doesn't matter. Like
Exactly.
if I did have a bias, I would have been Team Drake all day.
Oh, you
no
was.
matter when you lose or draw.
You were until shit got
and then when it got when the battle happened, I was able to remove my bias and say,
From
"Oh
it,
wait,"
'cause you know what was going down.
The ball, they rolled the ball out
But
in the middle of
truthfully,
the court.
even
Yeah.
if you still had a bias, even if you acknowledge Kendrick won, that's okay if you kept that bias, but still say Kendrick won, because as much as there's no objectivity to it, the reality is, even if, it's like, I feel like there's some funny business happening with the victory. Kendrick
Nah,
won.
it ain't.
Like,
It
nah.
ain't no
say
funny.
funny,
It
like,
ain't no
what
funny
specifically?
business. Don't do that.
I wanna know what he means.
All right,
What specifically?
Ain't no
and
funny
this
business.
is a perfect transition.
Okay. Yeah.
Number one, ever since the Pusha T beef with Drake, the narrative has been there's no rules in hip hop beef. That's been the narrative.
Facts.
People have said that.
I subscribe to that.
And so then when we saw the reactions to tailor-made freestyle,
Yeah.
and niggas are acting like AI is this abomination, voice modulation is what the fuck are you doing? How dare you use Tupac vocals and Snoop Dogg vocals? Nah, we're disqualifying that, blah blah. It's a lot of niggas who said that.
I mean, I don't think
that was
he
a
broke.
prevailing thing.
Reggie, what have I said was my
You
favorite song from that beef?
You love it. I know you.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay,
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about in general.
I mean, I don't think people were saying like, "Oh, he broke this cardinal rule." People were just saying like, "Yo, this is weird."
That's whack.
I liked
That's
it.
whack
Like,
though.
I don't think you guys
there's
remember.
no rules,
They
there's
just
no
weren't.
rules.
They just
You wanna
weren't
know why I
fucking with
liked it,
like-
Armon? Because it really bothered Kendrick.
It did, yeah. He
It was
told us.
one of the few things. Push-ups did not bother Kendrick at all.
He told us on Euphoria. He told us on
Fam,
Not Like Us. He
kept
told us on
referencing
Whacked
it.
Out Murals.
He hated the fact that
Yeah.
Drake did that.
Yeah.
I love that for
Yeah.
competition, like how SaVon was saying.
Yeah.
Man, Kendrick didn't give a fuck about push-ups.
Yeah, I never
I'm a
subscribed. I never subscribed to the rules thing.
That-
That's why I fucked
yeah.
your you fat mother.
Mother-
Like,
Bro, that's
Was
what
that
I'm
we
saying. I'm
started out
bruh.
like this, man.
that a
And
rule?
this was like,
come on, man. Like, is
there's-
using AI really worse than saying there was condoms on the baby seat? Like, come on.
Hello, host
Let's
said it.
really talk about it. So that's what was frustrating for me is the shifting rules and
Gotcha.
parameters of hip hop. And There was something you said. I remember you said on one episode that really grinded my gears.
Hey.
I love you. You know I love you. You're my
too,
brother.
man.
But you said something about how you, after this beef, you can't look at Drake as a hip hop artist.
He got me tight with that too.
Anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, and I think the biggest misconception with Drake is people look at him. His biggest records are typically his pop records, but a lot of his number one hits are hip hop leaning too. But if you look at the majority of his catalog, it's like 60 to 65% rap music.
Yeah.
Your favorite song, "Do Not Disturb," rap shit.
Yeah.
You go to the entire Timestamp series. You go to fucking The Resistance. You go to The Calm. You go to. I can go on and on with rap records.
Jodeci
So
Freestyle.
to strip that rap label from him because of the times where he worked with Quentin Miller, or the time, or Kendrick, rightfully kind of stripping that character down as we saw last year, or just a variety of things that have happened, like to retroactively take that hip hop label from him as a result of last year. That really, like, is that something you still stand on at this point?
Oh, for sure. I still stand on that.
Interesting.
I still believe in that.
Very interesting.
Because if we really being honest, coming from a hip hop and a rap perspective and the purest, right? And I'm not backpack rapper, man. No.
Right.
But again, I remember what it was like coming up, and I do remember a lot of the unwritten rules. Alex, Regi, and you may even know too from listening to the pod, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite artists of all time is Styles P.
Yeah.
I take his art, his craft very serious, and the things that he say very serious.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one, but we really should have looked at Drake a lot different and put him in a whole different category after the Quentin Miller thing.
I thought we did.
We didn't. As a culture, which is why he was able to go to war with the Pusha T's, and why it even led to the Kendrick and the Drake thing, which is why I think even Kendrick really has a disdain for him, is because deep down, Kendrick comes from that same cloth as the Styles P comes from. Right? So if we're really being honest with ourselves as a hip hop community and not the music and the talent are two different things. I'm talking about the unwritten rules of this sport. What he did with Quentin Miller should have put him in a whole different bucket, and we wouldn't even get the Kendrick and the Drake thing because we wouldn't have even seen them as competition. But the fact that we just allowed that to go, cool. Whatever. I think that's the biggest stain on his jacket still till this day, even after the Kendrick Lamar thing. But again, he's great. And his music, and it was UMG, and it was The Machine. And like you said, music trumps all. When you got me moving my hips and my shorty wanted, like, it moves everything. So that was the first thing. But even the way that he's carried himself and some of the moves that he's made, the missteps, and he can rap, and he is a rapper, and he's talented.
He's an elite rapper.
And
Say it.
He is an elite.
Thank you.
He is an elite rapper.
Gun to his head.
He is an elite rapper. You don't gotta force me to
hear.
say these things because, again, he's one of my favorite artists of all time. But I think it's just that he's one of my favorite artists of all time. I cannot put him in certain conversations. If, again, going back to the essence of it for me, which is why I'm able to judge that beef, without a biased view, is because the sport of rap is this. So if I'm gonna judge the sport on that, I have to judge the participants in this as well. To be fair, in my opinion.
I see what you're saying.
After this rap battle, this beef, and
But you
he's
can't
been
listen to it at
exposed and
all?
all. What do you mean?
You can't listen to any of the rap at all? Because I was kind of
No, I never said. No, he said, "Do I still consider him rap or hip hop?" Hip hop, yeah. He is. Yes, he is an extension of. But when I judge him, I'm judging him as an artist, as a pop artist, more so than I am a rapper. He is a pop artist. He is the greatest rapping pop artist we've ever seen.
I gotta agree with him a little bit, Armon. I've said this on the podcast. You've heard it. I go to Drake for the vibes and R&B.
I know. Yep.
When he starts talking about women and maybe potential scenarios I've been in before, oh yeah, turn this motherfucker up. I love it. Even as a younger Drake, the first few albums, the R&B stuff is what always had me.
Right.
Fam, there are some real technical rappers out here that would wrap circles around Drake.
But he's still in the conversation from a technicality. I'm not even just talking technicality.
I don't want to take. I don't know, but me, I am.
Okay.
This is where I'm taking it now. For me, in terms of it's easy for people now to say, "Yo, he's the best rapper ever. He's the best rapper right now." He might be the most popular artist. If we want to get to some real technical rappers, let's go to Underground. Let's go to Conway. let's go to Black Thought. These are the types of rappers on some real technical shit would annihilate majority of the people we enjoy on an everyday basis.
But again, I think
I love you, Armon.
It's two different conversations.
Oh,
right?
sure.
Because the conversation I'm having doesn't include no disrespect to Black Thought at all.
No.
Right? Like
Black Thought's one of the greatest rappers.
For sure.
sure.
But the conversation that I think that you were broaching was a little bit different than the technicality of it. Am I?
Yeah, no. I was solely.
Still that,
It's a part of it.
Definitely includes that.
Yeah, because when you talk about it being a rapper, those are things that are a part of it.
I don't know. I just, to me, and I remember I was having a conversation with my brother and his wife about this, and because it was around when GNX came out, and they were like, "Yo, I love GNX, just no skips, blah blah blah. Kendrick is #1." I'm like, y'all are being prisoners of the moment, because as soon as Drake releases again, the world is gonna regress to the mean. Like normalcy is gonna come back. And
what's wrong with them saying GNX is great? He's #1, whatever. Like,
because it's stuck.
No. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
But they were not big Kendrick fans before the beef, and they admitted that.
Gotcha.
They admitted that. So I'm like, okay, so y'all are kind of. I don't want to call them riding the waves or going with the trends, but you're kind of operating off of what have you done for me lately. I'm like, Drake drops an album. Shit's gonna change for y'all, but it's okay. But they said I was being dramatic by calling them prisoners of the moment. And this was around when I was having my like come to Jesus introspective thoughts about like, how do I approach this beef as Armon the person and as Armon the journalist, and finding a way to compromise those things. And I just feel like these very hard stances people are taking on Drake and stripping him of certain titles because of this, it feels prisoner of the moment-ish to me. I do think his solo album is coming in the fall this year, and I think that's when we're gonna really get rap Drake. Like we're gonna get the response that people have been looking for to all of this, the real introspection, the real where am I at now? How am I feeling now? And if that nigga has the 2025 version of a Do Not Disturb, of a Over My Dead Body, of a The Ride, of a Tuscan Leather, if he has his modern versions of those and the product is impenetrable, well, like all the people who took strong ass stances against him, well, what are they going to say?
How did you feel about For All the Dogs Part 2 with all of the rapidy rap stuff?
I thought it was great. But also something I realized, and this isn't something I weigh heavily, but like those songs didn't stream as much as the other stuff. Right. Like the people who want rapper Drake is a small subset of his large fan base. Like,
I agree with that.
Rich Baby Daddy went crazy for a reason. Even First Person Shooter kind of differs from a Red Button or a Wick Man or something like that, because it's more commercial, more radio, more pop rap type music. Not that it's a pop song, but you'll hear a First Person Shooter out before you hear a Red Button outside. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know. For me, I think I did well, and even people told me, and I appreciate it. They said like, you did a good job of staying fair throughout the battle, and I thought I did a good job of that too. But the narrative just got to a point for me where it was like, I can't do it no more, yo.
I'll be with you. I never said
I think
I'm looking forward to Drake's rap album.
I really hit my breaking point, like especially the narratives surrounding this lawsuit and the fact that so many people are assessing it and interpreting it as him suing Kendrick Lamar. So many people are looking at the lawsuit through a lens of culture and of hip hop. The courtroom don't give a fuck about these unwritten rules, which you've talked about, which I acknowledge, which we all acknowledge exist.
Sure.
The courtroom don't give a fuck about that. Is it a bad look for him optically? 100%. In terms of so many rappers and peers and stuff, they'll probably never look at him the same. And I think Drake is aware. He's a self-aware dude.
I'm pretty sure he knows.
He's self-aware.
I don't know if he is.
He is. He's very self-aware.
I don't know if he is self-aware.
He is.
Nothing about this battle tells me, like the Hard Part 6 that he dropped, that does not show any type of self-awareness.
You want to know one of the most important lines of the beef to me was on Family Matters when he said, "I'm losing perspective on beef." I don't think enough people paid attention to that line. Think about when Push Ups leaked and then Ack debuted, the real version of it. And you had DJ Head and all these West Coast niggas like, yo, claim the diss track, put it on streaming. Mm-hmm. When have we ever seen diss tracks on streaming?
Yeah, nah.
Diss tracks are typically a SoundCloud exclusive.
Back to back. What do you mean?
Hold on. Back to back wasn't on streaming platforms initially. Drake dropped it on YouTube at first. I mean, on SoundCloud at first. It was a SoundCloud thing. Back to Back didn't hit streaming until damn near a month.
It was
maybe
late,
2 months after. It took time.
Yeah, I remember.
It took time, and it was because the song became so big
you
that
had
his
to.
label was like, "Damn, I kind of want parts of it." But you can't compare a Back to Back to a Not Like Us or Euphoria. Like the worst thing he said about Meek was, "Is this a world tour or your girls tour?" I'm sorry, Meek. Nicki was bigger than you at that time. That's not defamation. It's fact.
Meek know that.
It's fact. It's not defamation.
Now, Armon, to your point about how the court doesn't care about what we saying in the culture of the streets, it's still gonna be like when you talk as to why you think people are confused at how he's perceived now. These are the things they digest.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So it's hard for them to rinse their mouth of, damn, you going to, even if it's not towards Kendrick Lamar directly.
Yeah.
Fans can't fathom the fact that there was a rap battle and we getting court involved.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Like it's unprecedented. But for me, the thing that stuck out to me immediately when I thought about him, filing the pre-action petition and then filing for defamation against his label, we have never seen a label get involved in rap beef like this. And I get it. When you have a hit song, you push the fuck out of it. You want to make your bread back. I get it. But we have never seen a diss song be pushed to the level that Not Like Us was pushed, where it's performed in the Super Bowl. It's getting played at the Grammys. It's referenced at the Oscars. It was #1 for mad long. It's getting synced for NBA playoff games. Like that was crazy to see. And I think as fans, especially the people who wanted to see the downfall of Drake, they're like, oh shit, wow, Kendrick really took it there. That shit's amazing. But when I was really thinking about it, I was like, this is not weird. We have never seen a label push a diss song to the extent that Not Like Us got pushed. So it's weird, again, when it's someone who is also signed to you.
Can I respond?
Sure.
We have never seen artists of this magnitude go at it in this way.
This way get
So
different.
there's a lot of unprecedented things that took place with this beef in particular. And I personally think that had Drake been the one to make the hit, it would have been the same.
There would have been no
And
lawsuit.
it just would have been business as usual because we're used to seeing Drake with the upper hand.
Here's
The
the
thing
thing.
that's unprecedented about this is that Drake was not the victor. And I think a lot of people are discrediting the fact, Not Like Us, especially when it first came out. Now, today I know everybody's tired of it. It's been played into the ground. But when Not Like Us first came out, it was undeniably a good song.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like at its core, whether it got pushed or not, before the radio, before the bots, before they was counting streams, I was listening to it. The people I knew around me, everybody was listening to these songs, right? Like
Organically.
it is a good song.
sure.
And again, going back to your point of
I
good
agree.
music trumps all,
Yeah.
it was one of those. But when they do put the money behind their investment, I don't think it's anything wrong with it. I think, again, the person who was just on the losing end of the stick, he's just not used to being in that position.
Here's the thing, though. Drake did make the hit. Back to Back, which you referenced. Granted, it didn't reach the levels of Not Like Us. Back to Back was huge summer 15. Drake moved on from it after like 2 months. He performed at OVO Fest. It did hit streaming, but it never got the push. It was Grammy nominated, yes, but it never got the level of push.
Because the
Well,
Meek and Kendrick Lamar,
exactly,
like-
the
For sure,
opponent,
but still,
it doesn't even
but still.
compare.
No. But my issue is people saying UMG has done for Drake what they did for Kendrick Lamar. They never pushed any Drake diss song the way that they pushed Not Like Us.
I feel like they never felt like they had to. Right? Like Drake at the time was always been bigger than whoever he went up against. Pusha T, Common. I love all of these artists. French from high school.
But,
You know what I mean?
but even still,
Yeah.
it's just like I said before, Back to Back took a while to hit streaming. If Back to Back, like, bro, think about it. Not Like Us hit YouTube when it first dropped. I think it was on streaming the very next day. And it had more than enough time to track and chart and all that. Back to Back did not get that. I think if Back to Back got that same treatment, I'm not saying it would have been.
Yeah.
And granted, charts were moving differently then.
I
So
was
Back to
just about to say
Back,
that.
might have actually had a
Very
lot of
different.
motion
Yes.
on the charts.
I was about to
Very
say.
different.
If it got that same push.
And streaming was different back in 2015.
And
But Drake didn't even want to take it there. And so when you have the other side saying, yo, put that on streaming, put the shit on streaming, and Drake fell for it. He kind of got baited into a trap where it's like, all right, we're going to play the streaming game with these diss songs. Push-ups, I'm going to put up. And then he gets bombarded with Euphoria and then Meet the Grams and then all that. Like, but we have never seen this type of concerted effort. And bro, I'm not going to deny the levels the song has reached, the palatability that it had. Like, the shit consumed the entire country. But all I'm saying is, I think that he has a valid case for what he's saying against UMG.
I think 2 points to what it is that you said. Going back to, you said the West Coast guys are saying, put it on streaming, put it on streaming. What I really think they were saying is stand on this.
Yeah.
Whether he put it on his SoundCloud or on YouTube, the way that Kendrick did, they just wanted him to stand by that record.
Which he technically did. He was posting memes about the song and shit.
Nah, that's not standing by it. That's alluding to it, feeding academics information, saying it's AI. Oh, is it real? Is it not?
Oh, I remember that.
That's not standing by it.
That was a kerfuffle. I remember that.
There was some confusion and smoke and mirrors around that song. Right? And it's alleged, and some of it's known, he was feeding certain pundits in the media, and one of those people was academics. So if academics wasn't even standing on it, he wasn't putting it on his Drake YouTube page. In the same way that Kendrick was, he wasn't really standing on it. So I think it's a nuanced conversation when you say put it on streaming. I think the message was, no, stand by this song that you made that's dissing him. That's one. And then the second point to Not Like Us, the reason why a back-to-back or no other song could even compare to a Not Like Us is because I always love to talk about Marvel and DC and superhero, the storyline, the arcs, right? Not Like Us, there was 4, 5, 6 songs leading up to Not Like Us with anticipation, with a response to a response. And it was also happening in such a timely manner, right? Like, that is why Not Like Us is in a bucket in a class of its own compared to a back-to-back. One, like Regi said, the opponent is just different weight classes, man. It's like when you see the senior in high school picking on the freshman who's like, it's just not the same. And no disrespect to Meek Mill, but he's not that caliber artist, right? The labels aren't even invested in a Meek Mill the way that they are in the Kendrick or even a Pusha T, my guy, right? I can acknowledge that. So that again, I just wanted to answer those two things. When it was go on streaming, it's like, no, stand by this record, not just go on streaming, stand by it. And then comparing back to back to Not Like Us, it's not comparable because Not Like Us.
I fully agree. I hate that people compare them because they're not comparable
in any facet, though.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah. And then we also have to look at the arenas. Like when we compare the players from the 90s and the 80s to the players of today, they can't help the competition that was in the 80s the same way you can't help, right? And we know the music industry changes like this. 5 years in music is really 10 to 12 years in music and technology and all of these avenues. So to try to compare that song to Not Like Us in this day and age with all of the new ways to consume music, I just don't think that's even a fair comparison, regardless of them both being diss songs.
So I'll close because I know we're about to go over time. I don't know how much of the lawsuit documents you guys have read, but UMG filed their motion for dismissal. Yeah. Drake's lawyer, Michael Gottlieb, who's a fucking beast. Like his writing inspires me. He's already responded to their motion for dismissal. And I mean, from my law experience, which is limited, but
lawyer.
I was a law major in high school. I do have lawyers in my circle. I do have people who I speak to.
Shout out to the New Jersey education system, the technical schools.
Facts. Like, again, culturally, Drake will never be looked at the same again. And I think that's something he fully accepts. And he's still able to thrive in spite of that. Some Sexy Song Shoe went #1. People are invested in his music. Nokia, he has a smash hit right now. Yeah. But to me, from what I'm reading, he has a pretty good case. From what I've been able to read, like Michael Gottlieb has really framed the things UMG has done in terms of the licensing of the song in a very, very strong way. Like I don't think the case is going to get dismissed. They're going to go to trial. They're asking for something called injunctive relief, which is where the damage to a person is so severe that even money can't,
fix it.
Can't fix the damages that a person has incurred. So if this case is successful, there is potentially something coming his way. I don't know what it is. There are some projections of what he could potentially get, but from my view, again, my biased view, my side that existed before all of this happened, but also just from my ability to read and assess legal documentation and looking at the way, because I don't know if y'all saw that dismissal filing from UMG. They basically just tried to like rip this nigga to shreds.
Yeah, they did.
It felt like they were appealing to Black Twitter as opposed to the courtroom.
Got you.
Like it was just very defamatory, which is funny enough, which is what the case is about. Yeah. I'm not saying he's going to win. But I think he has a better case than people think that he has.
I agree with that to an extent for me, because I've read some of it as well. I said it on the podcast too. Him and his lawyer are going to have to find specific smoking guns. It just can't be a fodder of, hey, this is what we think he did with this artist. Like currently, I think he's trying to request for Kendrick's record contract.
But that's the thing. UMG is UMG's not opening the books.
I mean, let's be honest though. If I'm UMG, why would I open the books for you when we've helped you, put money in your pocket, and now you want us to open up the books on another artist that you have no say on? It's not like this is one of your artists.
Let me present this to you.
Yeah.
Your girl thinks that you're cheating on her.
Yes.
She asked to check your phone.
Yes.
If you have nothing to hide, are you going to show her the phone, right?
No.
I'm standing on business.
Standing on business.
That's a bad example. I'm not showing my phone either. I'm not showing my phone either. Bad example.
No, yeah. Also, UMG doesn't have to do that. Like,
I mean, but
they don't have to do these things.
If you got nothing to hide, then
still, I'm not. Yeah, I'm a huge company. Like,
I'm a huge company that's never done it for any other artist. Why would I do it for you?
But again, this is unprecedented. So.
I hear you. I hear you.
I know you wrapping up, but I do want to hear your opinion, your thoughts as a biased Drake fan in some arenas, right? What do you say to the point of, I think the level of defamatory things that they've said to each other are pretty equal. And because the song Not Like Us highlighted Drake being an alleged pedophile, Drake equally said some damaging and defamatory things on Family Matters. And I don't think domestic violence is something that should be taken lightly. I think that is also something that can ruin and damage somebody's reputation, somebody's ego, somebody's monetary gain financially, their bottom line. I do think the two things that they accused each other of doing are two of the worst things that you can be accused of doing, and they both could have repercussions. And severe repercussions, and ruin and affect your livelihood.
I agree.
Because it didn't affect Kendrick, as we see, to the same degree that it did Drake. What do you say as a Drake fan? Because what he said is just as what he said is the reason Kendrick opened that door.
Here's the thing, and this is where a little bit of culture plays into it. Unfortunately. And I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not justifying or accepting or embracing this unfortunate reality, but people have overlooked assault and domestic assault throughout our culture. A lot of our biggest stars have engaged in that. Pedophilia is something that we don't play with as a culture. We don't play with it at all. You see what R. Kelly is dealing with. Anyone who has ever been accused of being a pedophile has been culturally thrown under the jail or actually thrown into the jail. So putting that on someone's jacket when you don't have proof of it, to me, and again, I don't want to compare. No, I don't want to compare them because they're both terrible things to say about someone if they're not true. But Drake is justified in feeling as though you said this thing about me. It has affected my perception. It has affected a lot of things for me. I have a right to be like, nah.
But he got are we talking about the lawsuit?
And, hold on, I'm getting to it. And my label, the label promoted this record, saying this thing about me on these super large stages. I have a right to take issue with that. And hold you to the fire for that.
Yes.
And if Kendrick wanted to pursue that, and again, I know he's a real hip hop nigga, real gritty nigga, blah, blah, blah. He would never do that. To two black parents, blah, blah, blah. He wouldn't do that. But if Kendrick wanted to hold UMG to the fire for the things Drake said, and he did it, again, also,
I was just curious.
Who am I to judge?
Wait, are we talking about like the morals of accusing each other, or are we talking about in the scope of like the lawsuit?
Yes.
Because, because
lawsuit.
Drake isn't like, yo, you said these mean things about me. He's saying, no, you unfairly promoted it.
I was just speaking to him being a Drake. I wanted to hear him from a fan perspective.
It is a defamation lawsuit. So while the promotion of the record matters, the content of the record matters too. He's upset. UMG knew everything that was going to be said and the cover art and all that, and they still put it out, promoted it, licensed it for all these things. So that matters.
I don't think we intro this entire conversation with the courts and what they care about.
Yeah.
You just said culturally.
For sure.
This goes on both sides now. I don't think the court cares if pedophilia or if women being to them in the court system, it's both defamatory.
But then it goes
you understand what I'm saying?
But then it goes to when you look at the amount of promotion Not Like Us got compared to a Family Matters.
But that's part of...
It's a very clear discrepancy.
I mean, and again, I'm not a lawyer.
Family
Isn't
Matters,
that why he's so...
I'm not a
Family
lawyer.
Matters could have been a hit if UMG wanted it to be a hit.
No, I think the people
people liked
determine.
it.
Yeah, I love Family Matters.
Partially.
I love
I think
Family
people liked it,
Matters.
yeah.
I think the reason Not Like Us got promoted in the way that it was, one, it's a concise song. Family Matters has 3 different songs in one. It's probably tough to make that entire song the hit that Not Like Us was just because of the song structure in itself. And then again, our ears tell us, UMG knew based on our ears in response to it, which one was the better song. I don't think UMG picked the winner of this. I think once they've had their winner,
I don't think
they said, "Oh yeah, let's do what we would do for any other big song."
Here's the thing. You might not pick the winner, but after someone wins and you go to their victory parade and you're like just all the stuff that comes after the victory. All of that is really the biggest issue.
I got an example, real quick. And tell me if I'm wrong.
We're gonna disagree on this, and that's fine. This was my opportunity to say a lot of things that I've been holding in, and I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, same,
so
same.
thank you all for your input on it. I knew we would probably get to a point where it's like, all right, now we're disagreeing now. But like,
It's fire though.
and again, I'm never going to devalue what Not Like Us accomplished.
Sure.
I even like the song myself as much as I'm tired of it. But it got to a point where it was just like, all right, man, like this feels like a very concentrated, concerted effort to make it even like, and again, the people picked it. It was, a lot of people said it was the biggest song of last year. I'm not going to debate that, but
I just think the courts, Armon, will say Drake also defamed Kendrick.
maybe.
And that's where I was mentioning that smoking gun. He has to speak really specific here because when it can go both sides, now it's not definitive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this was a good talk.
We'll see.
You need to replace me with John on this. 'Cause he'll argue down.
John's my guy.
He's on the same side as you. So
John's
next
my guy.
time,
Yeah.
have John on the pod.
And it's what's crazy is there's still stuff that we didn't even get to touch on.
Part two.
But yeah, no, you guys will definitely come back soon. But yeah, it's like this entire experience has really shown me a lot about myself and how I view my space how I view myself within the music journalism space, and how I also want some healthy distance from the journalist label that I get. Like the most annoying thing is when I'm out at a party and someone wants to come have a conversation with Armon the journalist. I'm like, bro, it's women around.
Like, let's
It's
have
a drink in my hand. It's good
Yeah.
music. I don't want to talk about the rap beef.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about lawsuits.
you
I
could
don't
just-
want to talk about
How
all
do you
that.
reply to that? Because you could just be like, yo, not right now.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
No, it's
That's
simple.
it.
But again, it's just because people only look at you for that thing sometimes.
Right.
Like,
and that's
especially people.
not a you problem. That's their
Right.
problem.
No, absolutely. But it's like I'm like anything I can do to create that separation. I want to be more conscious of. So.
It's about how much attention you give it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But hey, listeners, I hope you all really enjoyed this conversation. I want to thank again my family, SaVon. And I want to thank the boy A, Paco Bone Poppy, never alone, always with the posse.
Know that.
Of course, I want to thank the grateful, happy Regina, who is happy and blessed to be here. I want to thank my guys in the back room, Kieran and Courtney. Need to Know Studios is our home now.
Hey.
So we will be here a lot more often. The seasonal format is done, so you guys will see me more consistently. I'm going to still get my weeks off. I'm going to still be traveling here and there, but I promise, like, when there's a big topic, I will be here to discuss it, or I'll be here, like, a week after to discuss it in case I got to go to Cancun for some reason or whatever.
Hey.
Make sure that you subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/StayBusyPod. Make sure you follow Need to Know Pod. Make sure you follow all of them individually. Make sure if you're a podcaster yourself, come through to the studio and book here and use, say I referred you so I get a discount for that.
Yeah, say that.
Is that a thing?
It
For
is.
Armon,
It
it is. I
says
ain't
it
gonna
right
lie.
there. It's a
Yeah, right.
referral
You see it?
program.
You see that?
It says
Referral
it.
program.
Yeah,
Yep.
I might not be reading
Shit,
it right,
that's
but
fire.
yeah.
He right there.
But most importantly, above all else, primary, make sure that you stay safe, stay humble, and stay busy.